So he's up to 41. We could move up to second.
Families that can discourage grandparents who might be on the pension, etc., to go to see their grandkids play sport.
Yep.
I think it would be a really nice gesture for the Ballarat Footy League to think about a weekend pass for families or those with multiple children in multiple grounds and venues over a single weekend. I would hold grand final, go your hardest. Yep, have that. If you're going to watch the granny, you pay wherever. But I think during those earlier weeks, it should be a weekend pass for families.
And maybe that's something like a thing you could buy at the gate when you come in for the first time. You could say, you're going to this game, just buy this one, or do you want to buy a weekend pass? And go, I'll take the weekend pass. And it's, numbered or something for that particular day, so you can't use it again the next weekend. Surely, that's a really good idea, Steve. But in a cost of living crisis, I think that's a
nice gesture.
Yeah.
And I think it's also logical when we move into the Ballarat Footy League finals campaign for senior footy as well to consider, with the fact is we have finals generally 2 on the Saturday the first week, and then on the Sunday have a game, and then obviously the Saturday and Sunday the week after. So, I don't really care about the $20. So you're going to make more revenue and money out of that way as well, potentially.
Yeah. No, I hear it.
It sounds like a very simple business model. I don't know. That's just my thoughts and feelings. And before we get to our break, I do want to talk about finals of footy and ground availability, because we look at the Eastern Oval today. We'll get a ground report from our man Sammy Treasure on the other side of this break. But
he's just going to get his gumboots.
Yes, because it is quite heavy at the minute, Snibbo. And it's been, I think, uncharacteristically heavy all season. I know particularly there was a game early in the year. I think it might have been East Point versus Sebastopol, and you saw the ricochet effect from that. And the Borough played on a really heavy deck here. Next week, then looked really flat when they played on a nice fast deck at Mars Stadium, literally the week after. So I'm interested on your thoughts on the state of this ground, but also what grounds might be in use coming towards finals.
Well, I haven't heard officially from the Ballarat League. I think it's still up in the air. They haven't yet informed clubs what their position is. I assume there's a bit of a... I understand why they'll keep it late, because there'll be a balancing act between, especially first week, second week, clubs wanting home finals. There'll be a balance between that and a balance between what's the availability and condition of ground. So I'm really comfortable that the league haven't yet made any commitments. But I would say, I think the other factor they take into account is where might they get good gates.
Yes.
And that should be a factor they take into account. I also think what I've heard, now this is a bit of speculation, I haven't fact-checked this, the ground's heavy and it's turned up. I understand that the city was supposed to roll it yesterday and it didn't get a roll, because I know in September you can get a couple of windy days and a bit of sun.
And this week's supposed to be pretty good in terms of weather.
So I think you want good grounds to showcase the best footy. Some of them in Ballarat are in pretty good shape. We always know down the other end of the highway, weather's not a factor. The grounds will be in good nick down there, whether that's Sunbury, Darley, Mattingly. But I do think there should be a bit of a balance between those will bring in good gates. Week 1 should be home grounds where possible, where the grounds are in good shape. But I wouldn't put a home ground ahead of a really heavy ground so that the footy is actually a poor game of footy.
Yeah. Ballarat, it'll be interesting to see how Alfredton comes up.
It's been battling a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. And Ballarat, you would think, are going to qualify for a home final. That might be a challenging decision for the league.
And they certainly, from people I've spoken to at Ballarat, they expect if they have a home opportunity to play a home final, they expect a home final. So
yeah, there you go. Yep. And I would too. You play the season, you finish in the top half of the ladder.
But in terms of the Ballarat grounds at the moment, if you rank them worst to best in terms of condition, you'd probably have East the worst.
Yep.
I think Mars, if Mars gets really slippery, Mars and Ballarat are probably on a par. City Oval's got some heavy spots. There's been many times where Redan have been pushed off, and I think Lakers is not in bad nick, except it's got a centre wicket. Yep. And the ground that's in best condition in Ballarat at the moment is Marty Bush.
Yeah, that's right.
No cricket wicket and no mud at all.
The Western Oval, I think, is underwater.
Yeah, I was down there last Sunday. It wasn't the Western Oval of the 90s where it was brown mud from one end to the other.
And there wasn't the change rooms with the hose through it to wash yourself. So
the one that electrocuted you.
Yes, correct. Plenty of fond memories of the trips down to the Western Oval back in the day.
Youngie, question of you just quickly before we go to break. So from a cricket point of view, would there be some pressure to look after the Eastern Oval
100%.
in the lead up to the cricket season?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there was plans for the Eastern Oval potentially be reseeded, but with the Australian National Disability Championships coming up as well, the priority is to get a turf wicket up as soon as possible here in Ballarat for that carnival. It is the premier oval. We're actually sitting in BCA HQ now, so I guess in saying that they want to get up as soon as possible.
Youngie, I understand there's an arrangement with the city that I think like the 1st of September or very early in September, the Eastern Oval gets handed over predominantly for cricket, which
Correct.
means I think that's why we had 1 week of finals here last year, because it then gets handed over for cricket,
Yeah,
which I think's fine.
Which has been the arrangement for a number of years, ever since the Eastern Oval moved away from being the grand final venue for the Ballarat Football Netball League. That was only a short decade ago. Here, the reserves match has finished. East Point victorious in that one. We're going to take a break here at the Eastern Oval. Thanks to no one to go D2E Gym. You're listening to 3BA Footy's Home Ground.
Remember when Madonna ruled the charts? Kylie was just starting out, and every Friday night had a killer soundtrack. It was the decade of big hair and even bigger hits, from Bon Jovi to Duran Duran and Rick Springfield. So if you love the 80s as much as we do, then tease up the hair and crank up the volume and relive the decade that got it right. It's the 80s lunch, weekdays at midday, thanks to Mercedes-Benz, 127 Main Road on Ballarat's home of the 80s, 3BA.
Catering for your crew? Zambrero is here for you. Zambrero offers catering to suit any size event. Pick up in restaurant or ask about delivery. To find out more, head to zambrero.com.au/catering. Zambrero, it's feel good Max.
Harvey Norman Epic Audio deals on now. Shop big savings on the best brands in sound. Save $147 on JBL Party Box speaker, now $598 plus $50 gift card. Save $397 on Samsung soundbar with subwoofer, now $498 with $40 gift card. Epic deal on JBL Live Beam 3 earbuds with screen, now $148. And hot offer on Sony wireless on-air headphones, now $58. More in store and online. Harvey Norman Epic Audio on now.
Go, Harvey, go! Audio. It's more powerful than you think. What you hear can take you far from here. It can move you to dance, to run, to tears. It's all in your ears. For advertising with the power to reach 4 times more Australians than ad-supported Spotify, start with commercial radio and audio, where brands are heard. CRA.au.
Proudly local and here for Ballarat, that's Ross Street Building Supplies. Locally owned and operated for 34 years, they're your neighbours, not a franchise. From framing, flooring and doors to pergolas, decks, fencing, gates and garden gear, they've got what you need, backed by friendly service and know-how you can trust. They'll cut it, load it and deliver it fast. Support local, build local with Ross Street Building Supplies. 3 Ross Street, Ballarat, or visit discounttimber.com.au.
Stop till we let you. Now it's back to McDonald's BFNL action, thanks to our #1 ticket holder, D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. This is 3BA Football.
Welcome back to 3BA Footy's Home Ground. Thanks to D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. Sam Young, Roger Lewis, and Shane Simpson in the box to bring on the action line for round 17 action between East Point and Sunbury here at the Eastern Oval. And our man, Sam Treasure, he's our intrepid ground reporter. He's made his way out into the ground to check out the conditions here at the Eastern Oval.
Certainly have, Youngie, and it is an absolute mud pit. Roger alluded to it before. All you gents did. It is the sort of ground where I think you don't wear white clothes, and I didn't quite get the memo wearing my white pants. So.
You are rocking those white pants, Sammy, so don't slip over.
It's getting in early for cricket season, Youngie.
There you go.
I remind myself more and more every day how much of a doofus I am, but the middle of the ground is particularly muddy, but also the goal squares and the bowls club wing is also quite deep and boggy. And also, gents, there's an earthy aroma wafting around the Eastern Oval as well. It smells a little bit like a dairy farm, so you can definitely tell that you are at a ground by the smell as well. It's obviously going to have a huge impact on the game. The ball isn't going to bounce cleanly. I'm sure some players will probably struggle, especially in the middle of the ground, to keep their feet. Clean ball movement won't really be on. I'd expect a scrappy, contested game where territory and toughness are definitely going to matter enormously.
Thank you very much, Sammy T. No Lucas Visor index this afternoon. It's just Sammy Treasure's gumboots index, I think, for the afternoon to describe the conditions here at the Eastern Oval. Getting into the footy action, boys. Of course, Sunbury are the ones that have got it all to play for finals campaign. Now, I heard during the week, I think on the league's podcast, that the pundits have already said they're locked in for finals, but mathematically they're not. If they lose this afternoon and then lose to Ballarat, but they can certainly miss.
So who would get their spot then? Who
Bacchus Marsh and Melton?
They have to win both games.
Yeah, have to win. Yeah, so the way the situation now, Sunbury's on 32 points, thanks to our good friends that go via to your local health store. Melton's on 28. They have the most superior percentage in 6th place on 28, and Bacchus Marsh on 28. The run home's simple. Sunbury play, of course, East Point today, and then the Ballarat Swans at home next week. For Melton, they have Redan this afternoon, McPherson Mark, then Sebastopol, and Bacchus Marsh hosts Sebastopol and Lake Wendouree to finish. So you expect on spec that Bacchus Marsh and Melton I could put down probably potentially for one win there in terms of favouritism. If the Marsh upset Sebast today, if Melton upset Sebast in the final round and Sunbury lose both, and then that conundrum all works out.
What's the percentage differential, Yanni?
Well, this is the thing. So Sunbury's on 94%, Melton's on 127%, and Bacchus Marsh on 83%, but have Lake Wendouree in the final round.
Yeah, well, I think Sebastopol's percentage went up about somewhere about 8 or 9% off the last week's game against Lakers, so that's sort of in the ballpark.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not out of the realm. I nearly fell over when I was hearing, it was like, the horse before the cart sort of thing. Like, they've got to win. I mean, I expect them to win today before going a bit early on my tips. But in saying that, they have to win, because if they don't, it'll be a nervous game against the Ballarat Swans. Now, traditionally, they've got a great record of the Ballarat Swans. I think the Swans have only beaten them once in their history up there at Clark Oval. So, again, they'd be confident in that matchup. But it's not easy.
It's not a given by any means.
So I think also when you look at the team selection this week, with obviously a number of key players who haven't made a trip down from Sunbury for this game against East Point. Now, it has all the early makings of a danger game.
Well, on paper, and I think you alluded to it, Youngie, they're still strong enough to win and should win. But I wonder the managing of about 4 or 5 and resting a couple, etc. What does that do for the emotional commitment to the group? Like, does that mean they all now take it a bit easy? Oh, the coach is letting a few blokes have a rest. Oh, it's going to be an easy game.
Should get this done.
And now you come up and you go, oh, it's really muddy. If you aren't prepared to put your head in and win the footy, and if East come really motivated, and think about who's one of the best in and under clearance players in the whole comp that is well suited to wet weather.
Nico Road, Tom Onus.
You go, oh. So they just need to start well. So talent-wise, they've still got East covered.
Yeah.
But if their attitude's not right, there's a little wedge. And East have been, they should have won last week. They let it drop. And they had that great win the week before. So
they've been good since, and no disrespect to Joe Carmody, but the players have kind of, I suppose, relished in terms of just a different voice. I mean, Joe Carmody, absolute superstar, but, their performances since Joe stood down have been really good. Their performances in the lead up to Joe Carmody. It sounds like I'm potting Joe Carmody. I'm not. He's an absolute champion. But
I think all you're saying is they could have just turned up their heels and
that's right.
Not put much effort in, but they have actually remained committed to the cause.
That's right.
A few weeks ago, that win over the Ballarat Swans was a key indication about the passion for the jumper.
Yes.
In terms of everyone expected Ballarat to win this, and that's not a real cat amongst pigeons in terms already in the Ballarat Footy League, because Ballarat were probably eyeing up for a 1 or 2 finish. With their tough run home with Darley this afternoon and then Sunbury, they could drop as low as 4th, and they missed the top 3. And as we know in the Ballarat Football Netball League, how important it is to finish in that top 3. That 3rd position has mounted so many premierships.
Yeah, if you look a bit deeper into what happened last week, Sunbury v North Ballarat, that was at Clark Oval. They would have had high hopes based on their form that they'd run North a bit closer. It was thereabouts through the game, but North got away in the end. But they lost clearances by 16. North didn't have a recognised sort of ruckman in that week. They lost hit-outs by 10. And they were inside 50s, they were down 10, 40 to 50. They only scored 7 goals, 6 at Clark Oval, which has a lot of space.
Yeah, and 4 of those goals came from Jake Sutton, who's obviously not playing. So you go the week before that against Sebas, when Egan's pretty much won the game his own boot with 7 goals, 8. Then you have Sutton come in for 4 goals himself. with no Harry Power, Ben Cameron on the inside, I expect Egan to get a lot more midfield minutes this afternoon.
Then you take Gillard out, who's 2 goals a game. And then take Lever out, who I know Jake respectfully said others will step up. And yes, we've seen Tenalo play a similar role. But he is a gun of the comp and can't be easily replaced. Then you throw in, Jared Joyce, who's going to deal with him? He's in good form at the moment. And
I don't think Riley's mobile enough to run with Jared Joyce. It might be a Ben Eels potentially.
I just worry East have got a young under-18 playing in the ruck, so Sunbury, Gollant coming in, they'll have ruck advantage. If there's a lot of long, slow kicks down the line because it's muddy, does that drag Joyce really high? Then I go, well, what's Jake Brown doing? He was excellent. He had 31 touches last week. He's been back a little bit, whereas early in the year he was forward. What do they do with Jake Brown, and how does that impact on what Joyce can do to keep closer to goal?
Be a good watch throughout the afternoon. We get across down our man Sam Treasure, who's looking how sides are lining up and be able to tell us which way sides are kicking. And a tip from you, Sammy?
Yeah, I believe Liam Canny won the toss. It wasn't super clear, but I think East Point are kicking towards that Peel Street end. Yeah, it would have got lost in that mud. And as for a tip, I was going to go Sunbury, but Shane Snipson's convinced me to go a bit of the upset here. I'm going to tip East Point slimly, and for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day, I'm going to pick Liam Canny.
Your thoughts quickly, Shane?
Sunbury should win, but Guthrie's not in the mids to start, and I go, what is the plan? What are they doing?
Egan is.
Are they resting? What are they doing, Sunbury?
It's going to be a fascinating watch throughout. I've got Sunbury just. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I've got Sunbury comfortably.
So it'll be a fascinating one to see how it plays out. Sunbury, a win, should all but secure them a finals berth. It kicks off the opening term here live at the Eastern Oval. Here's Roger LeGrand.
Thank you, Sam Young. A very wet Eastern Oval, to say the least, as the umpire brings the ball in. And the young ruckman in his first game in the seniors for East Point. Young Xavier Thomas wins the hit-out, but it doesn't go to an advantage. It's going to be a repeat stoppage. So he's up against Miles Gallant, the experienced Sunbury ruck. And he's jumping over him at the moment. Mika Rotoba-Onus comes clearing through that pack. Not able to pick it up, so the ball kicked off the ground in the end by Sunbury. To try and gain some advantage, it goes forward. Lant leads in the race, and the ball not able to get it. Egan picks up, kicks on that left boot inside 50. It's a bit off the boot, but good enough for Scanlon for Sunbury to pick up. He gave a handball back, and a short kick was smothered almost and gone back to Lucas for East Point. Gets the handball to Willems, and the clearing kicks comes out of the East Point defence.
Willems, a high kick to the outer side, ball hits the turf, and now possibly free kick for over the shoulder contact. Free kick go the way of the Kangas. They go inside to the midfield to find Rotoma-Onus, and he'll spread it out wide to the broadcast side where he was trying to find how the kick was a bit shallow. Now the turnover's in full vein. Opportunity for Walker to dump it inside 50. Wobbly kick almost fortuitously found the lap there of Guthrie, picked up there by Gue, and he'll clear D50 for the moment. He'll come back with interest, you imagine, here in centre wing as Wood. Sells a bit of foot candy, steps around to that left side. A high left foot kick will be a shallow entry inside 50. Good contest by Walker. Guthrie waits down. He has a look at the sticks. Right foot around the body. He needs the kind bounce. Umpire says there's a hold. It's going to go against Scanlon on the line. It's going the way of Dane Llewell, who was impeded.
Right free kick to Ding Llewell, who's come into this East Point side in the second half of this season and been very good. He's got a beautiful left foot kick, and he uses it on that occasion. Clears the ball outside 50 up the line. Molan led in the race for the ball for East Point, wasn't able to mark. Supported by Canny, kicked it off the ground. Comes back to Mika Rodama-Onus. Handball over to Molan, who comes up the line and finds Cooper Glenwright McGuan. His kick to a leading target misses, and good spoil over the line from the Sunbury defender in Noah Ryan.
Yeah, we can just see Jake Brown is starting back at the moment, and the Sunbury forwards, whilst the delivery hasn't been great, have been leading really strongly and just getting that sort of 2 metre gap off their defenders of East Point.
Bit of sunshine here at the Eastern Oval as well. Really attacking side centre wing for the Kangas. Ball being played majority in the half here for Sunbury at their end of the field though. Hand pass towards the line there by Lou Rick, and in the end it's walked over the line. Good tackle there by Muir. We'll get a ball in centre wing on the broadcast side of the ground. So arm wrestle start. Sunbury had a couple of looks inside 50, but East Point's defence held up strongly in this tight tussle in tricky conditions at the Eastern Oval. We'll go once again, almost 3 minutes gone in the opening term. Gallant up against young Thomas. Gallant with the tap knocked down. Stevens elected to wait, and in the end, Willems is able to come away with it. Stripped out his hands in the tackle, but the umpire says enough prior opportunity and a good enough tackle to be holding the ball. Free kick go away of Dean Muir on centre wing.
I believe it's stiff to be awarded that holding the ball against him, Willems, but Muir takes advantage of it. Somebody comes up the line, and that man that Shane Stimpson spoke about earlier, Jacob Brown, so good at that. Intercept marks overhead in these heavy conditions. He finds a teammate in short. So East Point just slow play. That teammate of is Joyce. Plays on. Kicks up towards the scoreboard. No mark taken. Ball goes to ground. Comes back to Dean Muir for Sunbury. Inboard to Miller for Sunbury. Sunbury with some poor kicking. Have lost contact with the footy. And Brown came through and laid a very heavy bump on his Sunbury opponent there. That player is Zach Stevens. He's still on the ground. The umpire comes in to ball the ball up.
He's already had a break, contact injury earlier in the year. Broke his arm against Redan earlier in the year. So heavy contest there with Brown with strength. We'll give Gallant the points in the ruck again, but the ball was straight down, straight into the mud and stopped in its spot. So we'll go once again for a ball up, just pretty much in neutral territory in the middle of the Eastern Oval. One down by Gallant. Over the shoulder was Stevens. He was unable to impede up. I said no. Brown with the double-fisted spoil forwards. Lant with the crumb. It was a good spot, just didn't have to get clean possession. Brown fights the good fight on against Guthrie. Umpire giving plenty of leeway. As opportunity for Hannett now to dump it inside 50 for the Lions. Bouncing ball will favour the forwards there. Scanlon off the Guthrie. Puts the stiff arm. Happy to catch it. Passing. Well, it's gone. On the ball. Good tackle. Pin in the arm. Free kick will go the way of East Point's defence.
That was a great little chicken wing tackle by Gangloa, wasn't it?
Uses that left footer he so well, and he does so. Kicks out towards Joyce. Spoils a good one from somebody. Came back to Scanlon. Snapped over his left shoulder. Pat Scanlon for Sunbury kicks there first, and Sunbury on the scoreboard with a goal. The first of the afternoon. 1 straight 6. East Point yet to score on the Metro scoreboard.
Welcome back, Patrick. Hasn't played for about 7 weeks, I think, and he's got an early contender for one of the goals of the afternoons, but certainly celebration of the afternoon. He was off, and he was happy. He loved his work.
It was sort of the soldier pump. It was almost Will Farrell in sort of one of those movies. I can't remember the movie.
He was very happy with his work, and as he should be.
Old School's the movie.
There you go. Got it. We got there in the end, but a wonderful finish and a great start for Sunbury. 1 goal straight, 6 on the Metro scoreboard lead the way. Tap by Gallant. Canny impeded without it, which should be rewarded here. Free kick, defensive side of the middle of the ground stoppage. So the captain, Liam Canny, played all 17 games thus far this year for East Point. We'll go laterally out towards the broadcast side centre wing. You'll find Braden Joyce. Had Lucas with the drive-by hand pass, ignored it initially. Spearing ball in the Glen Wright direction, McGuan, and Glen Wright McGuan takes the mark on his chest in the end. Got through. He takes the mark, and East Point build. As they look now to launch one high towards the half-foot flank. It's off the outside of the boots. The advantage of Joyce on the move. Was kicked to his advantage, but bounced off his chest and out of bounds it goes. Right in front of the electronic scoreboard, which reads, almost 6 minutes gone in the opening term, and Sunbury wiped by 1 goal on the Metro scoreboard.
Sorry, Shane.
Sorry, Roger. Already we can just see Sunbury holding 6 forwards ahead of the ball, not putting an extra number in the contest. That's just due to all that congestion and mud. Gallant
grabbed the ball out of the ruck for Sunbury and kicked it forward. Umpires found a free kick. It's going to go the way of Blake Walker for Sunbury. Plays on quickly, comes inside 50 in the direction of Scanlon. Already has 1 this afternoon. He'll line up for his second from about 40 to 45 metres out.
That's a super kick, a right foot kick, off sort of like a Nick Dacos off the side of his foot to hit Scanlon on the chest. That's the hardest kick he can do, and he did it beautifully.
On the burst too, outside the boot, that was super. And Scanlon, well, he kicked 1. He had a great sally. Can he make it 2 with another great sally as he'll line up from 45 on a 45-degree angle. The right foot kicks on his way, and it never looked like it at all. Almost into the car park, and he is out on the full. No score registered, and Jacob Brown will be the beneficiary for the free kick.
Around the grounds to Darwin for the cricket. Australia have already lost a wicket. Jake Weatherald out for a duck in the second innings.
I reckon he might play his last test. We'll stick with the footy action here, though. Well, you can't be averaging under sub-20 opening the batting, and anyway, that's it.
Australia a chance to get done there, young.
Oh, they will, 100%.
By an innings, I think.
Yeah, that's right, Sammy.
Don't go that early, but it's looking early. As Brown will bring us back underway here. We get back to the football action, 7.5 minutes into the opening term. Brown directs that traffic and try to sidewind a punt. It was a real mongrel ball drop from there, Shane Simpson. It almost just fell awkwardly onto the boot and floated and off hands out of bounds.
It did, and it's just going to be hard today for teams to change direction of the footy and kick across the goal and get it moving quick. There's just going to be a lot of that long kicking, and that's just due to the condition of the ground.
So the ball will be thrown in front of the old Hames Paint building here at the Eastern Oval. Gallant seems to have a tactic at the moment where he's going to try and grab the ball out of the ruck, and he did so on that occasion, but was tackled pretty quickly. So it'll be a repeat ball up. He tries it again, misses the ball onto his boot, and it's going to force another stoppage.
Well, that's due to Hamish Thompson for East Point being in the ruck, who's sort of undersized to a degree.
Sort of. Barely holds a key position. He's doing some ruck work, so a bit of small ball here at the Eastern Oval. Good tackling pressure and gone. Hot whistle again.
That's a hot whistle.
Free kick will go the way of Mitch McLean for Sunbury, attacking side centre wing. As Egan's gone forward, he directs traffic, and the kick goes to his advantage. In the Egan direction, Brown gets across, gets the spoil ball, hits the surf, and in the end, out of bounds, it will go. In the left forward pocket for Sunbury, they lead by 1 goal straight, 6 on the Metro scoreboard. We played 9 minutes in the opening term. As we'll get to Sammy T, it looks like a pretty still afternoon down there on the boundary line, but we'll stick with the action for the moment. Thompson takes front position, reached up top by Walker. Lucas unable to pick it up. He just hacked off the deck and gained distance more than anything. Kenny does the same with his own soccer skills. McLean waiting outside. Big, strong hit shown there by retirement owners. It's sent back inside 50 by Sunbury. Mark and the last line fence taken there by Liam Howard. But that was another strong hit by retirement owners.
Absolutely. He's got up okay, though. Fortunately, has Mitch McLean. Liam Howard will take the kick for East Point. Goes up the line and finds his skipper, Liam Canny, the heart and soul of the East Point team, as Sam Young said earlier. Played every game this season. Such a reliable, durable player as Liam Canny. He plays on, goes up the line at the wing, but turns it over. Sunbury getting numbers back around that wing position and play on quickly inside 50. Long kick towards full forward, handed over the back, slipped at the crucial time. Tapped it back to Egan, was tackled out to Land. Snap over the shoulder from Newitt. It's the post. Very unlucky Jack Newitt. Sunbury go to 1-1-7. East Point gets a score.
They certainly started better, and they've got a lot of inside 50s, and just sort of East can't penetrate through that sort of defence. Sunbury's setting up, and Egan and Guthrie and Scanlon looking good inside 50.
I'd say, be fair assumption, say 90% of the play thus far has been played here at the attacking end of the ground for Sunbury, as Brown walks out of the full-back position, just pounds along one down the line as expected. In front's Thompson, made a good fist of it, and it's paid for some slight contact in the back and pushing the back. Free kick is the way of him.
That wasn't a mark paid, it was a free.
Yeah, it's just a little push. The hands went up by the umpire to suggest that it was a push in the back. And Thompson spears the pass towards centre wing. Nice back-to-back mark taken there by East Point. As they hold some territory now up the line, Jeffrey able to get himself involved. Looking laterally into the corridor, which is probably the hardest place to go this afternoon with the state of the ground. He chips it over the top. A player's building for him. Mark taken there by Willems. Chips it down the line. This is good, solid build-up by East Point. About 3 or 4 marks in the chain in a row. Mark taken there by Hiscock. That's 75-80 from goal. And he looks to hit a nice spot.
Oh, well done.
At the end, just floating in there, nice mark taken by Jeffrey. They just worked that way nicely through down the line, Shane.
Yeah, and he's played on quickly and got himself in a bit of trouble.
He did get himself into trouble, so much so that his kick was smothered off the boot. Interested there, Shane, in terms of the tactics. So clearly keeping it along the boundary line, not willing to centre at any point.
No, and that last kick, it was well disguised. Like, it looked like he was kicking long, and then he just dropped his eyes and found the East Point player. With that lever in there, you might be a bit more open to kicking it longer today.
You would think so. Ball thrown in. It's going to go nowhere, though. It's going to be a repeat stoppage. So if you've just joined us, we're coming up to the 12-minute mark in the first quarter. Sunbury lead by 7 points. They're 1-1-7. East Point yet to score. The ball at the Peel Street end of the ground. Sunbury with a weight of numbers defensively. With a bit of pressure from East Point, are able to clear, kick out towards the wing in the direction of Thompson for East Point. Walker came flying over the back, wasn't able to mark. Ball came to ground, and it'll be a ball up on the defensive side of the centre square in front of the scoreboard here at the Eastern Oval.
Yeah, much better pressure by East Point just to cause a dump kick for Sunbury back to a stoppage.
Back on the way here at the Eastern Oval.
Ooh, friendly fire.
Yeah, but Sunbury do get the kick away towards the boundary line. Egan will be desperate to keep it alive, so it's not one of those lasso free kicks. Did well, got it across to a teammate. The spearing pass from Lant works out to Newitt. So a great season 2026. He'll go across the Eastern Oval, dangerous kick, but he'll find the chest of Reggie Miller. He gives off the hand pass, and now Sunbury look to go right down the spine of the Eastern Oval. Long kick in the Scanlon directions off the outside of the boot. He leads the race against Dane. Dane did well to push him to the side and on the back. Handballed to himself and threw it forward. Umpire put it away. So no free kick. Ball still alive here for Sunbury in their 50. Tough would to be one, of course. Off here to Ryan. He gives a hand pass too tall for his target. Running through there was McLean. Dump kick will come back with interest. Mark there by Newitt. He's about 55 metres from goal, just outside the 50-metre arc, but he's a long thumping kick. And whilst the footy's relatively fresh, 13 minutes only into the game, he might be able to muster enough power to launch this from outside the paint.
Yeah, and this shot's really generated because there was a bit of dare at half-back to go across the ground. We haven't seen that much today. Worked out well. Now they've got to repeat.
And he had Egan moving for him quickly on the lead. He went to that stead. He shakes and bakes around to his left side. Goes with the handball back towards Hannett, who just, in the end, handball to himself, you don't mind. Step around the body for one of the most inspirational individual efforts you've seen.
Oh!
And somehow lands marked in the pack of three. The littlest man in the pack stayed down and lands in his lap.
So Liam Howard just overran the ball there, Snibbo.
He misjudged it totally, didn't he?
And he's one of the best, I think, spoilers in the competition as well, Liam Howard. He just had a little fresh area in the air and waits down, marks on his chest.
Yeah, well, he was the third into the contest, so it was totally his job to get a fist on that. The land was sealed off and it just sort of landed in his lap.
Toughish angle. He looks like he's going to go with the drop punt opposed to the little screw punt around the body. He goes drop punt and he delivers nicely. Sunbury have the first two here at the Eastern Oval. 2-1-13 on the Metro scoreboard to East Point yet to score.
Yeah, what's really noticeable early, just in terms of how both teams are playing, Sunbury are finding a handball to someone on the run, on the move, and moving it with a bit more purpose. East Point so far have been either slow, long kicking or looking for short kicks to a mark, kick to a mark. Sunbury have really opened them up when they've had chances, and that's been from a number of their players with a bit more intent to overlap.
So in heavy conditions here at the Eastern Oval, 15 minutes gone. Sunbury 2-1-13, leading East Point yet to score. The D2E Gyms for Delacombe to Wendouree, and never too far from a D2E. Play back underway in the middle. Point win the hit out, but not able to get to advantage. Molan goes in strongly and kicks long inside 50 for East Point. Ball hits the ground, no one able to mark it. Joyce picked it up pretty cleanly in the end, but was tackled straight away. It's going to be a ball up right on 50. It's right in front of the scoreboard on the Peel Street end of the ground.
Yeah, and Sunbury have gone really small in their forward line at the moment. Jacob Brown's on a really small Simpson. Howard's on a really small player there as well in Spiteri. So this will be interesting to see with the conditions.
Retirement Owners tries the outside of the kick and hits the wrong side of the footy across the face of 50. It goes. Almost a mark taken by the East Point forward there in his cock. He'll get the rifle kick around the body towards the top of the square. Last line of the fence, though, Sunbury able to get some players back and take the mark. A ball good 150 metres away from our broadcast position, and Riley will go with the right foot kick down the line. Too tall for his intent to target off hands, and was it touched? Umpire says it was. No lasso free kick will throw it in.
I want to cross down to Sam Treasure. I'm very interested in terms of where who's giving the instructions from the East Point bench, Sam. Can you pick up, is it Tom Molan in the red, white and blue there, or is it one of the other assistants?
I'm in the grandstand, Roger. Go have a look. Tom Molan's got the headset on, so he's directing from the interchange bench, but I'll get back to you on that one.
Thank you very much, Sam Treasure. As the ball comes back into play, comes back to Rodimer Owners. Little short, dinky kick in the direction of Glenwright McGuan. No mark taken. Ball went to ground. Somebody going to clear out of 50 again, and they're going to switch quite cleverly. Foot race on out in the wing. Leading the race for the ball is Goo. He's letting Jack Newitt from Sunbury. Was taken high. Umpire said no. Was able to get around him. Well played, Lucas Goo. Kicks up towards centre half forward. Glenwright McGuan flew. Ball came to ground at Joyce. Jared Joyce, it is, who dribbles one towards the goals and just tickles across the face and through from behind. East Point's first score for the afternoon. Is that a behind? They trail Sunbury 2-1-13 on the Metro scoreboard.
Gee, Goo did a great job there. He was 4 or 5 metres behind when there was that foot race. Got in front, kept the ball in front of him, gathered, evaded too, and that was well played. He was outnumbered there on the wing.
Yeah, he's really emerged. You can see the athletic traits there. 15 games this season and more game time this year has resulted in some fruitful results. There's a long kick out from the Sunbury defence. The umpire's, I think, paid the mark in the end. It's going to go the way of Lucas. He'll chip it into the pocket. In the end, it was too tall for McDonald, and it's intercepted by the Sunbury defence. And
Murphy, good mark, wasn't it?
Yeah, and going at that much ferocity towards the footy, that's actually a very good mark. And then the pull up and launch it down the line to a big pack of players. Offhand, Spiteri was the man in the pack. He couldn't quite take the mark. Fisted forward by Egan to his own advantage. Handball got out of bounds and wasn't touched, so it'll be a lasso free kick and go the way of Brown, the last disposal, on centre wing on the broadcast side.
So Jacob Brown comes inboard. No mark taken. Rodham Owners fumbles. Walker picked up for Sunbury. Comes back from Newitt, goes forward in the direction of Adam Simpson for Sunbury, number 67. Round one, goes onto his right boot, but off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. So no score to Sunbury. That margin remains 12 points in favour of Sunbury on the Metro scoreboard.
Yeah, it was just some great work from Brock Lamp for Sunbury, just to shepherd and give him some space to have a good set shot at goal.
So Dane Llewell will bring us back underway here. Had a couple of interrupted seasons, so good to see him fully fit out there this afternoon. Towards the turf, and we'll get another stoppage for a ball up long down the line. The majority of the play being played on the broadcast side. Now we've headed over to the far side of the ground.
Under the big tree, Youngie.
Yes, for all the listeners at home trying to describe exactly where we are here at the wonderful Eastern Oval. Nice tap down there by Thomas, but straight to the boundary line out of play. It bounced before it went out of play, so we'll throw it in. Although, in my views, that'd be one of the temptations umpires could look at. Maybe the last touch from the ruck tap, that could count as almost as a disposal, and free kick could be a lasso the other way. Want to get radical.
We've got enough rule changes. We don't need any more.
We'll stick with the action. Egan restrained bursts his way through. He breaks stride to 50. He looks at the goals. He heads for home. He pinned the ears back, but wrong side of the post it goes for a minor score. Sunbury moved to 2-2-14 on the Metro scoreboard. East Point the one behind.
That was pretty powerful from Egan. It would have been a contender for goal of the day. Clean pair of heels through the stoppage, ran for 15 and looked to lace it out from 40.
Kick from fullback comes to Zane Lubick, one of the East Point youngsters in his first year of senior footy. He comes up the line to Zane, up the wing. Misses the target. Sunbury able to get back through Sam Parker and take the mark. He's right on centre wing on the Hames Paint side of the ground. Parker comes up the line. Howard gets in front for East Point. It's going to be a lasso free kick, and it's going to go that way of Liam Howard.
Gee, that's a good call by the boundary umpire. Very quick to go bang. No, didn't get a knuckle on it. Free kick at East Point.
He backed himself. Good on him. Good call, Sam Young. It's Liam Howard with that lasso free kick. He's called to play on. Kicks up the line. Big pack flies and a strong mark taken over the back by Tentinello. And very important role today is Jordan Tentinello in the absence of Lever, and he'll take the kick on the back line of the centre square.
Yeah, it's the second time he's taken an intercept mark down the line too. So big win for him as he pumps this one towards Newitt, who arrived late and heavy contact. Stick with the action. Sunbury keeping it alive through Simpson. It was touched off the boot. Wobbles into the pockets. Materials walked over the line. We'll get a boundary throw in. As you approach time on, just stick to the time on in this opening term. Sunbury lead by 13 points on the Metro scoreboard. Ball just been camped in their attacking half for the majority of this term. Ball in. Thompson against Newitt. Umpire said he was taken to the ground, and Newitt can't believe a free kick will go the way of Thompson. So both sides electing to go with more of a mobile option in the ruck.
That's not a combination you would have predicted pre-game. So.
Absolutely not. Of course, no Joel Muir today. One of the men missing for Sunbury. They didn't bring in necessarily a recognised ruck to replace him. Well, besides Gallant, of course. And yeah, Muir doing the work around the ground as the secondary ruck. As Brown will thump this one towards centre wing. Gallant resting out. Flew in the air, couldn't take the mark. Waiting down to McLean. Had his head ripped off. The umpire said it was ridden up in the tackle. Opportunity here for Ryan. He's caught as well. And in the end, stoppage of centre wing the results.
Might get Sam Treasure to keep an eye on Luca Goo. He just copped the knee to the back of the head in that big fly that you called before, Youngie, and he's showing the effects of it as the ball thrown in the air, out on the wing. First gamer in Valance comes through. He's given away a free kick there, and it's going to go the way of Sunbury. Now, the kick from Sunbury will be smothered off the boot and come back to Molan for East Point. He goes in short. Mark dropped by Jeffrey. Was able to get a handball to Willems, who gave it back towards Jeffrey. Gallant got his hand in there for Sunbury. Willems snatched it out of his hand and kicked long towards half forward. Joyce flew. Ball went to ground. Foot race on. Sunbury played defender, went to ground and allowed young McDonald to come through on his left boot. And Sam McDonald has East Point's first goal for the afternoon. They're 1-1-7. Sunbury 2-1-13 on the Metro scoreboard.
It was quite opportunistic in the end. It's a long way from here to see, but it just looked like there was a fumble or a misgather from the Sunbury player, and then it was just swooped upon by East and popped through pretty easily.
Goal 13 for the season for Sam McDonald. Pretty much good for a goal a game this year, as his first year at the club. And nice finish there just to get one against the grain.
Not bad for a guy I think was recruited early in the year to be a backman, I think from Cobden.
Yep.
And now he's done a lot of weeks up forward and starting to find his feet up there.
1-1-7 on the Metro scoreboard. That is East Point trailing Sunbury 2-2-14. Thompson in the ruck wins it down. Give the man some credit. As Jeffries caught in the tackle, and a ball up is the result. So no real advantage. Maybe just move slightly from forward to centre here for East Point as they try to string another one late as we start to approach that quarter-time siren. Gallant with the tap this time. Handpass from Land was in and under towards McLean. His big body's been important early for Sunbury at the cold face, and could be one of the early contenders for a Sporting Globe Player of the Day mention. As we'll go again with another ball up. Roger.
Quickly around the grounds for Go Vida. Melton 3-2-20. Redan 1-1-7 at Mackie Park as the clearance is won by Willems for East Point. Kicks long towards full forward. Spilt over the back. Sunbury through Murphy Boyd. Able to clear, but they're under real pressure. Miller goes back. He actually really cleverly got around one and got a handball over to Muir. It came back to him now. Well done, Miller. Kicks long into the middle. Lance leads in the race for the ball. Dropped the chest mark in the end, which allowed McDonald to come through. Got a handball out to Canny. He found a teammate in Joyce who dropped what he should have taken. Went back to pick it up and was tackled. Is that holding the ball? Umpire says yes. Free kick going the way of Sunbury.
So it's hard Sunbury bodies. McLean, then Muir. Just, those 50-plus senior games coming to the forefront there on a young brain. Joyce on that occasion to apply a good tackle. High ball down the line. Coming from the side this time nicely and expertly is Howard, the spoiled season how to play.
It did look like it slid off his fist. I thought he could have just knocked that over the fence.
Yeah, just need a real bang to it, but just sort of, as you said, grazed the knuckle and out of bounds it goes. Just outside 50 for Sunbury. They lead by 7 points in the Metro score, about 60 from goal. Gallant for the tab was trying to get eager on the fly. He was unable to gather. Bob puts the whistle blows. East Point emerged through here. Willems had some important touches. Rifle kicker in the body. Strong mark down the line taken by the Kangas. Balance hand pass was broken up, and opportunity now here for East Point. Somebody go forward. Lucas strong behind the foot. He takes the mark, and the number 12, first year at the club, being forward back at times this year. Behind the footy today as he goes laterally into the pocket, finds a teammate there, and Bryn Thompson who takes the mark.
So Bryn Thompson cleverly goes across the ground to find Howard. Conscious of the time on the scoreboard now. It's 25 minutes just ticked over. Howard comes short and finds Molan. Goes in short again. Was it out in the full? Banner umpire's not sure. He's going to pay the mark, I think, in the end. Looked to me like it was on the full, but we had the best view of it because we're almost in line with the throw-in.
It looked out on the full.
Ray Glover's trying to claim the mark. The umpire actually goes back and says, Ray, I'm going to give you a kick. That was out in the full by half a foot, but very easy for us to say in our position. Glover. Jeffrey was pushed under the foot. He didn't get the free kick. Maybe that's some justice. Stevens went back for Sunbury and picked it up. Came down the line, finds Guthrie, who marks in front of Jacob Brown.
So Guthrie gives the handball off to Miller, who's been industrious. As he steps around the whoopie tackler. Off the Hannett, his handball's broken up by Brown, who just picked his pocket. And he doesn't want to go to the outside ground, wants to keep working the line. So he stepped back through traffic cleverly, kick in the direction of a teammate there. And Glover's seen over the line, will get a ball in on the broadcast side.
Yeah, we just saw Brown intercept nicely, look to open up the game. There was just no one there to kick to, and I just think that's something they need to address at quarter time. Every now and again, you do need to change.
Yeah, take that risk, don't you? Ball thrown back into play. Thompson up against Gallant, kicked off the ground by McLean from Sunbury, inside 50. Thompson, strong tackle and a nasty one on Bryn Thompson for East Point. He'll take the free kick. He plays on quickly, and this is what they need to do. He comes out wide and finds Jake Brown. He needs to move it quickly as well, and he does in the direction of Willems. The kick was a poor one, though. To put Willems under pressure, he's going to be tackled straight away and a ball up. On
the burst, takes the mark, then off a couple of steps, snap around the body. 25, one that you'd be pulling your hair out in the coach's box. Just got to be a little bit better than that on occasion, Jacob Brown.
The kick was on, definitely, but just poor execution.
As the handball emerged, is broken up there by Egan. Canny gets in and under. Miller's been good. He gets handball away there. As somebody looked to break it half forward to Guthrie. He flipped up the high hand pass. Thompson held without it. High contact. Take your pick. Free kick will go the way of Bryn. Free kick the way of East Point in their defence. But then had a lot of footy inside the defensive 50 because they can't seem to break their way through. Looks to link up with the brother and Hamish. The twins combine. Bit of family love. Hamish Thompson takes the mark. Now just directs traffic down the line and looks for a suitable long option. High kick in the direction there of Glenn Wright McGuan. Fisted away by the defence. Picked up there by Riley. Is dumped inside forward 50 by Sunbury. Howard backing back. Couldn't take the mark. Thompson will pick up the crumbs and clear T50. Big fly at the top. Nice strong mark by Dean Muir. He didn't take his eyes off the footy for one iota there. And took a strong grab. He looks inside 50, lands by himself in a pocket space and slides in, takes the mark.
It's been good, Dean Muir, Snibbo, in terms of just behind the footy there.
He's been exceptional. And Sam, you made a reference to him not taking his eye off the ball. Was that reference to Howard's maybe did that just before?
I would like to go back and look at the footage on that.
I tend to agree with you. And easy to say that from here.
Well, he's a leader and it's his job to take marks.
True.
He should just go and see what comes his way.
Where there was a lack of talk that maybe say he's going to get full access to it, we'll stick with this kick as land directly in front for 45. Won't be easy in these conditions. The kick is on its way. And it always looks destined for a behind off the boot. For a moment to score, it goes to 2-3-15 on the Metro score, but that is Sunbury. East went 1-1-7 as we're deep into the opening term. 28.5 minutes now played.
Wouldn't expect that it'll be a long quarter given there hasn't been many goals kicked.
A few stoppages, Rod.
A few stoppages, yeah. And it'll be Brown that brings the ball back in for East Point. The veteran plays on. Kicks long, outside 50. Hames Paint side of the ground. Good mark taken by Glover. He's done a couple of nice things this quarter, the youngster. And with that, the siren sounds to end the first quarter. Scoreboard reads Sunbury 2 goals, 3-15. East Point 1-1-7. The goal kickers for Sunbury have been Brock Lance and Patrick Scanlon. For East Point, their only major came through Sam McDonald.
I think in the end, East Point probably take this going into the quarter-time break, despite the weight of territory that Sunbury have had. We're going to take a break here at the ACNL. Thanks to our number one ticket holder, D2 Jim. You're listening to 3 Footy's Home Ground.
80s hits you love. Your favourites from the 90s and 2000s. 60s and 70s tracks that stand the test of time. Better music and more of it. Ballarat's 3BA.
Cook with the world's best brands at Harvey Norman. Right now, receive 10% of your purchase price in bonus gift cards with selected cooking appliances from big brands Electrolux, Bosch, Westinghouse, Smeg, Euromade, Belling, and more. That's right, spend $299 or more on selected cooking appliances and get 10% in bonus Harvey Norman gift cards. Create your dream kitchen now with this hot offer. 10% in bonus gift cards with selected cooking appliances. Best brands, best range. There's more in store at Harvey Norman. Conditions and exclusions apply.
Catering for your crew? Zambrero is here for you. Zambrero offers catering to suit any size event. Pick up in restaurant or ask about delivery. To find out more, head to zambrero.com.au/catering. Zambrero, it's feel good Max.
You shouldn't have to do uni alone. That's why we're inviting you to bring everyone to our Federation University campuses for an open day out. You'll find food stalls for Dad, live music for Auntie Mia, reptiles for Priya, caricatures for Chloe, games for Joey, giveaways for Zoe, and comps for the netball team. Plus, you'll get the chance to meet your lecturers and explore the campus. Register for the Ballarat Open Day Out today at federation.edu.au/open day. We're all with you.
I know you listen to enough true crime to think you could solve one, or even pull off the perfect crime. But if I was hiding something and gave you 3 cryptic clues to figure it out, do you think you could? I'm Art Simone, and on my podcast, Concealed with Art Simone, I do exactly that. I meet with very regular-looking people and try and uncover what interesting secret they're concealing from me. Think you can uncover what each person is hiding before I can? I doubt it. Prove me wrong and put that true crime training to the test. Search Concealed with Art Simone on whatever app you're listening on right now.
Over 5 million Australians suffer from dry eye disease. If cold winds, heaters or allergies make your eyes feel watery or itchy, you might be one of them. Symptoms vary from dry, red, burning eyes to blurred vision. But the good news is, OPSM in Stockland Wendouree can help with OptiLight. OptiLight treats the root cause of dry eye disease, not just the symptoms. Book your comprehensive dry eye assessment today at OPSM in Stockland Wendouree. OptiLight, only at OPSM in Stockland Wendouree.
It's the big one at Nissan, with an unmissable finance rate across the MY26 X-Trail Hybrid e-Power and petrol range. Head into Peter Stevens Nissan today. T's and C's apply. Approved applicants of Nissan Financial Services only. LMCT 11740.
Drop everything. Your local bedshed store is having a massive stock clearance with end-of-line items drastically reduced. Hurry in store for huge savings while stocks last. T's and C's apply. Bedshed. No one's better in the bedroom.
Ballarat's 3BA, covering the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Live.
Kicks out towards Joyce. Boy, was a good run from somebody. Came back to Scanlon. Snapped over his left shoulder. Pat Scanlon for Sunbury kicks their third.
Hannes, who just in the end wanted himself, you don't mind, step around the body for one of the most inspirational individual efforts you've seen. And Sunbury lands marks in the pack of three. Land waits down, marks on his chest. He goes drop punt and he delivers nicely. Welcome back to 3BA Footy's home ground. Thanks to D2 Jim from Dullacombe to Wendouree. You're never too far from a D2E, where it's Sunbury on the Metro scoreboard leading 2 goals 3-15 to 1 goal 1-7, which is East Point. So going into the quarter time break, that East Point will be flattered, by the scoreboard. Shane Simpson, what are your summations of the opening term?
Well, Sunbury dominated clearances, inside 50s, intercept marks, just couldn't get the score that they wanted. That being so, yeah, dominant players for Sunbury then included Guthrie and Egan were very good. Tentinello was good. Muir at halfback, and then Lant looked pretty lively. Scanlon had 2 shots on goal. Obviously, kicked 1 goal, 1. Oh no, one on the full. Sunbury are well on top in terms of general play. That's largely because they've got an ability to face the game and handball to someone who can create and run forward more often than East Point. They've dump kicked less. They've done a lot fewer long kicks down the line to numbers. And then you look at East Point, and they've been pretty dour when they've got it. Brown's had a lot of it, but a lot of it's just sort of long kicking to packs. Is that the plan or not? I'm not sure. But I think if the plan for East Point is to kick the contest and then go from there and get a stoppage and go again, then they all need to be there and get numbers there. Many times they've kicked the contest, but they haven't all been there, and I'm just not clear what the plan is for East Point. If that is the plan, then fully commit. But if it's not, then let's see some run and carry. Let's see some change direction and do that. I feel like they're a bit half and half, just hoping something might happen.
Yeah, they're hoping for that opportunity to stick a goal that they got through McDonald, and they're not going to win the game plan that way, though, are they?
No. Well, someone who might have a bit more idea what the plan is moving forward is our man Sammy Treasure, who's listening to East Point's huddle.
I was listening to Tom Molan, their interim coach, and he wasn't happy, boys, with the first 15 minutes, especially on the intensity front. He also said that he wants his boys to really play the ground conditions a little bit better. He wants his boys to back himself at contests. He mentioned how he was unhappy with how many times Jake Egan easily broke away at the stoppage. But yeah, the main messages were pressure at the contest, get numbers there, and also connect the ground, play for each other.
Yeah, it sounds like you really preach the message of control your controllables, effort and intensity is to start second term. Here's our man, Roger Legreen.
Ball thrown up in the middle of the ground. Won't go anywhere, though. Egan at the foot of it was tackled straight away. It'll be a repeat ball up.
Repeat to the first quarter, isn't it?
Exactly. So thrown up once again. Let's have another go at this. Thomas doing the ruck for East Point. Clearance came from Stevens for Sunbury. Kicked up towards the Peel Street end of the ground. Lucas got back for East Point. They're going to be able to clear. Lubik's handball missed the target. Came back towards Howard. Just got his handball. Able to get out of trouble. This Lucas's handball missed the target. East Point just trying to force the ball on here with a bit of territory. Kick smothered off the boot and spill out of bounds on that Bowls Club side of the ground.
Just listening to Sammy Treasure's summation of the East Point huddle, I think for them to win, it's not an effort and intensity solution. It's a method question. They've got to change how they're playing, what they're doing with the ball.
They look to go corridor bound there as that ball was deemed with the boot of a Sunbury player for a lasso free kick. Hits the turf. High contact will go the way of Sunbury first to react to the ball hitting the turf. I think it might have been Stevens. And Tentinello, sorry, they've worked it out in the end. He's going to thump it inside 50 for the Lions. Big pack of players, ball hit the turf again. And Sunbury able to continue this trend of locking in their half. They want a free kick for not a genuine attempt, as the East Point defender just picked it up and just hashed it in, but no free kick awarded. We'll go quickly once again inside 50. Walker wins the ruck down for Sunbury. Egan on the fly. Left foot kick around the body will bounce towards the top of the square. Goalkeeper was Brown, or the kick was smothered coming out of the fence, and now they've got a problem. Sunbury were trying to keep the pressure. East Point quickly kick across the defence's 50 and find Dang Luell. Go back to the safe hands of Brown, who goes. He marks. He sells a bit of foot candy. He draws a hand pass off. Now East Point can go down the line with a measured pass in the direction there of Glover. He's done a couple of nice things down the line as a target.
Plays on quickly. Canny kicks inside 50, but a good mark overhead taken by the veteran Nathan Wood for Sunbury. He immediately does what Shane Stimpson's been calling for. He opens up some opportunities for going across the ground or through the middle and finds Jake Egan, and he's going to continue that play. Wood has kept running, and he's going to receive the handball. He goes in short, but the execution lets him down, and Braden Joyce gets in front and takes the mark.
Can they look to go on the turnover? Scores from a turnover is so important. Glenn Wright will take the mark. Can he wheel and deal? He spits it wide, had a target and he uses. And McDonald, he goes back to his left side. He hits a nice spot, looking for Joyce. Eels arrives late, punches to the turf. Gallant with the hand pass. Tensinello with the rebound. Kick out to a vacant centre wing on the broadcast side. Just in the path there of Reggie Miller. Doesn't go off the deck. East Point get the cavalry across. Hiscock goes back with an errant hand pass. Brown with strength, puts the stiff arm out. Got boots the ball just. Willems, who's probably been the Kangas' best, picks up it clean at his heels. Hits the corridor, misses the target and Joyce. But he's got some space to move as it holds up in the mud. Joyce dumps it to half forward. Was he dumped late? Umpire said no. Wood off to Egan and somebody repelled from half back.
Egan's going to take his time with this kick, and he kicks to a teammate who actually slipped over, but he had plenty of time to get up and pick it up, and the ball will come back in the direction of Ryan for Sunbury. Goes inside 50. Lucas left his man and let out in front. Pushed it in front of himself, was tackled, wasn't holding the ball. The umpire said no. Handball came out towards the boundary line. It's going to force a stoppage. You would have liked that bit of passage of play, Shane Snipson.
Well, it's a great 2 or 3 minutes. East Point are taking the game on, moving it quicker. Sunbury doing the same. All of a sudden, it's entertaining, and there's not many stoppages.
Gallant with the tap winner down just inside 50 with the clearance to go the way of East Pointers again. They look corridor bound. Dangerous kick. Ryan with the spoiler spill at the back. Jeffrey put his body in the way for East Point. Knew it did well at ground level. They retreated from Riley all the way to Wood, and he'll dump a high wobbly torpedo punt almost towards half forward. Fist of the ground there by East Point. Retirement owners at ground level, always good. High jumping kick to half forward. Wood getting across, another strong mark to the veteran.
I would like to see Joyce come up and play 50 to 70, and then he can go up or back. But at the moment, he's too deep.
He's had some important possessions this afternoon. Nathan Wood, that one not his best. His kick came up to the leading player and was spilt out of bounds. It'll be thrown on the wing.
I think especially when you look at his matchup and Ben Eales, today, that's how you be challenging Eales, is getting high up the ground and trying to beat him on the way back. I would imagine from the heroic capacity advantage would have to go the way of Joyce.
You'd think so. And it just gives Joyce more options to get in the game, and we know he can kick from a long way out.
Ball comes back into play. Thomas for East Point won the hit out. Kick off the ground from Kenny. Came towards Jeffrey. Great pick up in the conditions, but his handball missed the target. It'll be thrown in just under the tree here at the Eastern Oval in front of Sam Treasure in the grandstand.
Yeah, I will say to your point before, Snibbo, along with not being happy with the first 15 minutes, Molan, he did mention that they do have to change the way they play. He wasn't happy with some of the ways they moved the ball across the ground in that first term.
And Jeffrey handball was so slick it was a throw. So Stevens goes long down the line, and he turns it over. Mark taken by Lucas, who takes another intercepts. He just holds things up for the moment. Ball being played majority on the far side of the ground from our broadcast position to start this term. In the Glover direction, full stretch, couldn't hang on. Kenny with a tackle. Did his opponent have it? Umpire says we'll throw it up regardless.
See, that's a great example. That kick 70 out, the kick into a 5-gamer. That should be going to Joyce on a lead. 100%. He can compete well there. It's just where they're breaking down half forward at the moment.
Big fly by Thomas. He took it out of the air, if you don't mind. He arrived late. It was almost like a hanger. His handball was picked up by Galante, dumps it down the line, big fist applied. Umpire's going to say hold, though. The second arm was wrapped around by Gu, and it'll be a free kick way of Sunbury in the way of Egan, the attacking side of centre wing. So, opportunity forward to centre for Egan to do his best work. He just chips the pass into the leading lane. Mark's taken by New, and he'll play on immediately. Right foot kick towards full forward. East Point defence gets across, and Howard waiting out for its Wilms. He's run down from behind. He disposed of cleaning up. I said no. Hold the ball. Free kick go the way of Sunbury. That forward pressure has been on full display to start this game.
That being said, I'm happy for a run-down tackle because East are trying to make the game. I'm happy with that.
Brock Land kicked towards the goal square for Sunbury. Spoil came from the East Point defence, and Howard ended up kicking it off the ground. Leading in the race for the ball is Hiscock. Got a handball over the top. It's no real advantage. It's put his teammate under pressure. Ground ball in place. Plenty of players around the footy. Comes out to Joyce. Jeffries. Kick went down the line, but Sunbury have a 2-on-1 situation. Kelly it was, so it was Riley who fell over in the end, came back to Wood, but they've got 4-on-1 here, and Riley's going to get a clearing kick. It's a poor one. Teammate was in front. The umpire's found a hold free kick. It's going to go the way of Sunbury, and it's going to go the way of Josh Guthrie in the end. He kicks along inside 50.
Guthrie missed his teammate dropped the mark, and the umpire's going to pay free kick regardless. So, in front of that electronic scoreboard, still reads 2-3-15 on the Metro scoreboard. Sunbury leading East Point 1-1-7. Opportunity from just outside 50 for Kelly to send the Lions into attack. He looks towards the hot spot with a high right foot kick. Big fly, and the mark is paid on the juggling attempt through the lines at full forward, and just an important kick to the advantage of the forward to the hot spot. Juggling mark is taken in tough conditions there by Jack Hewitt. Has a habit of knowing where the goals are. He'll line directly in front.
That was a really good contested mark, and he just sort of went the opposite direction to which way the whole pack was going. Took a bit of courage to get up there, and in that conditions, really strong contested mark.
Former member of the Calder Cannons, played a lot of his junior footy, of course, in the NAB League there, and now up to almost 70-odd games in senior footy for Sunbury. He's been an emerging prospect for a while, and he's had a wonderful season with a goal here. As Sunbury moved to 3-3-21 on the Metro scoreboard. East Point 1-1-7.
We'll go around the grounds for Go Vita. Some interesting games on this afternoon in the Ballarat Football League. Let's check some scores. So Bacchus Marsh 26 lead Sebas 11. Ballarat 30 lead Darley 8. Melton 34 lead Redan 9. And in the other game, North Ballarat 34 lead Lake Wendouree 7. So some one-sided contests taking place. Bacchus Marsh leading against Sebas. That's probably the early upset at this point in time, but plenty of time to come as the umpire comes in to throw the ball up. It'll be Thomas up against Gallant. Thomas won that one again. He's done quite well in the actual hit outside of the ruck. Guthrie appealed for a high free kick. Umpire said no. Rodham Onus came through, got a handball in the direction of Willems, who's been tenacious this afternoon. Came back to Cooper, Glenn Wright McQuad. He snapped on the right boot. And East Point have their second. They go to 2-1-13. Sunbury 3-3-21 on the Metro scoreboard.
Yeah, and the key to that was East Point players keeping their feet. Mika Rota Onus kept his feet in two contests, and then Willems could have easily slipped or went to ground, but just kept his feet. The handball comes out, and there we go. That was right in the corridor of the ground. That's the heaviest part of the ground. They did really well.
It was the first time from a tap that Thomas went forward with the tap. Rotomo went forward with the hand pass and was pro footy the whole way forward. And as you said so well, Shane says in these conditions, you've got to keep your feet. Sunbury players went to ground, and East Point made them pay. And a nice finish for the instant response to Glenn Wright McGuan. As the Kangas moved to 2-1-13 on the Metro scoreboard to Sunbury's 3-3-21. We played 9.5 minutes in the second term, and is that one to start a bit of momentum for the Kangas in this one? We'll go with the action once again with Gallant and Thomas in the ruck. Early tap to Thomas, down to that man on the moves for Tomo. He's got the hands free with the hand pass, back to traffic. Gallant slid in the mud, got the handball away to Guthrie. He just hacks it off the deck to gain territory. Clever ball out wide was looking for Kelly. McLean got in the way though, and he coughed the hand pass to Thompson. So a bit of scrappy stuff as expected. Diving is Tomo Onus. Contact heavy both ways. Umpire put the whistle away. Fist from behind by Ryan was legal, said the umpire, and allows Muir to come away with it. Kick on the non-preferred left boot is straight out of bounds and just plugs a little bit before it eventually trickles over for a lasso free kick, and it'll go the way of East Point.
So right in front of the East Point bench, in front of where the timekeepers sit here at the Eastern Oval, it's Hiscock. Plays on, kicks inside 50. Big fly from Jeffrey, was able to get it to ground. Willems rode, went up to his right boot. Brody Willems, thank you very much. East Point have their third. East Point 3-1-19. Sunbury 3-3-21. Metro scoreboard.
Yeah, well called by you, Roger Legrand, and a great spot and wrap to start by Brody Willems. He's, I think, a real contender for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day. He's conducted himself in these conditions early, but that's a great finish. We know it's a skinny pocket there, Shane Simpson, but don't take it away in these conditions with a heavy ball, how good that goal that is.
Yeah, he just got enough time and space just on that shifting turf to really steady and really get his sides. So that was a beautiful finish. He can kick goals from that pocket, but still a high-quality finish.
And 2 in a row to the Kangas, and already you start questioning, Chief, all their dominance, Sunbury haven't put them away on the scoreboard like they potentially could have. And East Point continue the challenge. Kenny's hand pass broken up. Waiting for that there is Boyd. He'll go with the outside of the right boot towards half forward and sliding in there. Set mark taken there by East Point and by Joyce of the Braden variety. So good play by East Point again to intercept and look to go from half back with a high ball at the other side. Juggling mark is not paid, and over the line it will go. And we'll get a boundary throw and true centre wing on the outside of the ground.
Might cross down to Sam Trench. I'm interested, we can hear a bit of wind in our effects, Mike. Is it windy down at ground level, Sam?
It's not too windy, Roger. It's a little bit of a swirly breeze, but I wouldn't really say it's favouring either end super highly.
Thank you, Sam Treasure. Ball thrown back into play in front of the timekeeper's box here at the Eastern Oval. Thompson, Hamish has been really good. Got it back towards Rodimer Onus. Did he get a handball to that tackle? Umpire said yes, play on. East Point able to kick inside 50. Glenwright McGuan looked like he was held. Umpire said play on. Jeffrey laid a strong tackle for East Point. It'll be a ball up right on 50, right in front of the grandstand here at the Eastern Oval.
I'm going to be a broken record here, Roger, but I just want Joyce under that kick at 55.
I couldn't agree
He's their
more.
best marking player, and they've got all these inexperienced, shorter types getting out muscle.
Return owners on his hands and knees. Hand passes broken up there by Egan. He went forward with his head and under, and waiting out for hand passes, Kelly. And Sunbury looked to go towards centre half forward with the right foot kick break in space. There's Lance. He couldn't hang on. Dangwell left his direct opponents in Scanlon to impede. Land just picked it up, snapped around the body, and the goalkeeper in the line. The mistakes
That
the
would have
mark.
been a goal and a half, Bennett. Jeez.
That was a great spin. It was a bit like Dudley last night, just spinning out in the pocket, didn't he?
But didn't have enough oomph on the kick as it's marked on the goal line by East Point. High ball out defence is broken up there by Spiteri as it hits the turf. Good tackle applied there by East Point to hold things up into the fence. 13.5 minutes. I feel like they have adjusted.
Yeah, it's
East
a
Point.
noticeable change. It's a proper game of footy now, isn't it? Both teams are taking the game on, looking to score and be positive.
And the Kangas certainly up to this one in their eyeballs.
Ball thrown in the air. Newitt grabbed it out of the ruck for Sunbury. Kick was smothered. Ball kicked off the ground. It'll be a repeat throw-in. So that margin is just 2 points. We're heading towards the 14-minute mark of the quarter. Sunbury in front, but if you've just joined us, it was a 2-1 first quarter in favour of Sunbury, and East Point have bitten back with a 2-1 second quarter as the boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. Newitt doing the ruck work. Cleverly tapped into space. Came down to Hannett. His handball went to Guthrie. Snap off the back to Adam Simpson. His kick was a poor one. Took it out towards the boundary line. And East Point with the numbers are able to get back through Howard. He comes out wide and finds Bennett for East Point. Comes inboard. Looks for a teammate. Dangerous one. Had the idea but missed by about 10 metres. And coming through is Egan, able to pick up. He's actually gone to ground, Egan. Something's happened to his stomach there. He's got slowly back up now. Ball is still in play just outside 50. Back in the hands of Scanlon. Goes onto a left boot towards the goal square. A mark taken by East Point.
So East Point's own quarterback line, that fullback line again, is able to hold up scoring. And a long right foot kick towards the outside is the option. Big fly at the top and a nice mark taken there by, I think it might be Hiscock there to able to take it. I might call a play on went off his line, allegedly, and in the end off there to return Onus, which just dumps it quickly, hurried off the boot and out in the full it goes.
Jake Egan's in a bit of strife here, gents. He looks like he's coming to the bench, and it looks like that right arm is a little bit limp. I'm not sure. I think the right one was the one he broke.
Yeah,
it is. So
you're right,
he's
exactly.
coming off to the bench now. I'll keep a close eye on, and of course, the reigning Henderson medalist.
So it could be a big story unfolding here at the Eastern Oval.
Yeah, he's done.
So we'll just try to get as many updates as we can throughout the afternoon. As long kick getting the line by Tentinello. There's a shallow entry inside 50. The crummer's good for Sunbury to get the right kick towards now for Miller. Fisted it forward. Will run under his own footy here. Put the head over it. Good tackle applied in return by the Kangas. They'll dump it out of D50. It bounces on the drier part here of the oval, which set up nicely for Jeffrey to come across. And he's caught the tackle. We'll get a ball in.
So if we go back to that incident, it just looked like a tackle was laid on Egan, but he instantly grimaced and went to his knees. He got back up only because the ball was nearby, but he's in some distress. Shane Snipson and Sam Treasure are keeping an eye on that situation. We'll come back to them shortly as the ball is thrown back into play. Willems has been super, and as Sam Young called earlier, an early contender for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day. Just over to Hiscock. His handball missed the target. Boyd's kick was a grubber, but it found a teammate in Hannett. Hannett's kick went towards Guthrie, and the mark taken by Guthrie just outside 50.
Yeah, Hannett and Guthrie being important in those forward centre touches. Really able to shift some angles and create some attacking play with their penetrating kicks. Hannett on that occasion was able to find Guthrie, and he'll go to full forward because he saw McLean breaking in space. He just did everything but take the mark. And Lucas repelled down the middle, but he's turned it over. Mark taken by Murphy Boyd. That's 70 from goal. Back in the lineup this week. And he'll look to go inside 50. Just a little measured pass that will work. So they chipped their way through. I think it might be Walker that slided in, take the mark. And a shot on goal coming up directly in front from Blake Walker. Distance right on his limit.
Just on the Jake Egan issue, I'm not sure how serious it is. There's no trainer going to him. He's just sitting on the bench having a drink. We'll just have to wait and see what eventuates.
As Walker tried to palm it off into the leader, Scanlon quickly, and he turned it over. So East Point's defence holds up again. Especially at the full back line. McLean left it for Miller. He's caught in a nice strong tackle by Thompson. No prior opportunity. We've got a ball in front of the electronic scoreboard, which reads 3-3-21 on the Metro scoreboard, the way of Sunbury to East Point 3-1-19.
So, ball to be thrown up right in front of that scoreboard. Heavy conditions here at the Eastern Oval this afternoon. No clear winner of that hit out. Ball went to ground. Walker was able to get through and handball it to teammate Guthrie for Sunbury. Great pickup in the end by Land. Kick missed the target though, came back towards East Point. Umpires found a free kick. It's going to go the way of East Point, and Brown says, no, let's not take the advantage. Let's hold it up. It's going to be the way of Goo. Comes inboard and finds Deng Lual. Lual plays on quickly. This is what East Point have to do because he's got a man out by himself. It's Lucas, I think. He has a bounce bravely in these wet conditions. Comes up the line in the direction of Glover. Misses the target. It's going to be a lasso free kick to Sunbury.
Out of bounds it goes, and kick misses Glover on the lead.
Who do I want getting that kick?
Probably Jared Joyce, who was 20 metres behind it. Just get him higher.
The idea was right to switch, though. I like that.
Yeah, the movement was good.
But structurally, there can be some very simple tinkering to the armoury as the inboard kick from Sunbury's good finds McLean, who will also be one of Sunbury's best and contender for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day, how he's adapted like a duck to water to these conditions. Stevens, at full stretch, didn't hang on, and in the end, out of bounds it will go.
We're 18 minutes into the quarter. I think Joyce has been in one marking contest for the quarter.
The umpires have said that contest was an illegal disposal, so hold the ball, free kick, go the way of the Kangas. Spearing past down the lines, good mark taken by Jeffrey. He likes to get high up the ground himself. Looks left, looks right, takes the man on the mark. Now dumps a high ball down the line to a contest. Big fly by Thomas. He only will take the mark. Sunbury with the numbers at ground level. Wood wraps around and in the end draws Muir as the hand pass. He looks for the piercing ball. It's a good kick to find teammate Newitt, who can look down the corridor if he likes to Guthrie in that real muddy stuff, who takes the mark.
Marks in front of Jacob Brown and plays on quickly. Josh Guthrie for Sunbury. Kicks inside 50. The ball was on top of Hannah Teddy. Wasn't able to mark. Goo got back to tidy up. Kick was smothered off the boot. Came back to Lance. Handballed over the top to a teammate. Round one, round two. It's Miller. Kick was a poor one though. Was it just inside play?
Yeah,
There's a mark taken down there by Scanlon, I think, Sam Young, right in front of the behind post.
Oh, he'll claim he passed it. He definitely was having a shot on goal, but he'll claim that was a beautiful ace out pass to the key forward.
Egan's back on the ground, gentlemen.
So that was, unless it was a winding kind of thing, but he definitely clutched at his arm, as Sam Treasure called. And he still looks to be kind of holding that arm a bit.
Check side into the post from very close range from Scanlon, and Minor scored the result as Sunbury moved to 3-4-22 on the Metro scoreboard. East Point 3-1-19 as we tick the time on in the second term.
Around the grounds for Go Vada, back at Smash 4-4-28. That's superstar Josh Huxtable has a couple. Sebas biting back, an inaccurate Sebas. They're 2-9, Sam Young, 21. So some work to do for the Borough at Mattingly. It's back here at the Eastern Oval. Brown will play on from fullback. He'll come out scoreboard side of the ground towards defensive 50. Gallant, strong mark overhead for Sunbury in these wet conditions. Early contender for mark of the day. Goes back, plays on quickly and says, kick it straight back to Jacob Brown and he'll mark in defensive 50 for East Point.
Lackadaisical kick again from Brown around the body. Might work out. Handled forward there by East Point. And a run down taken by Wood has gone holding the ball, Shane Simpson. And a free kick will go the way of McLean quickly as he played on. He dumps it forward, and that's out of bounds for a lasso.
Bit of a scuffle on behind play. We'll get Sam Treasure to keep an eye on that one. There's a few players getting involved.
As East Point just go down the line to Gu, who walks the tightrope across the boundary line. It's kept alive remarkably. Wood steps around the whoopie tackler to that natural left side. Then he goes, I don't like what I see. So he retreats all the way back with the hand pass. Off to Riley. His kick's gone about 7 metres forward, and Jeffrey will break things up. He stripped in the tackle. Umpire wave play on, said he tried.
Now he plays.
Now he says hold the ball and a free kick to Sunbury. So they put the whistle away and then they decided, you found it in the mud. That's holding the ball, free kick.
I don't know what the story was there, but Gallant says, give me the footy, I'm going to take the kick for Sunbury. And he kicks up the line, the direction of Egan. Ball went over his head. Lubick able to get back for East Point. His handball in the direction of Brown. Brown tried to kick it off the ground, wasn't able to do so. Strong tackle laid on Miller. It will be a ball up just outside 50 in front of the cricket nets.
Brown's having a pretty big game, just intercepting and rebounding there. For
Disposal letting him down a bit, though. I know
yeah,
the
but the
heavy.
intent's changed. He's
Exactly.
not kicking slow and long down lines. He's making a bit of a game of it.
McLean tried to force his way through that ball up without the football. Oh, strong bump. Two East Point players have collided. One looks to be out. Like he has not moved. He's slowly turning on his side now. We'll keep an eye on that one. Ball will stop in the middle of the play, and you would think the umpires will do the smart thing here and hold play.
You'd think so.
East Point play, getting back to his feet. Can you see who that is, Sam?
Yeah, it was Jack Jeffrey, who was met very heavy by his teammate Braden Joyce. It looks like he's going to get up and get back in the game, but it was a big hit.
Touchdown one by Sunbury, hacked up the deck though to the advantage of East Point. They retreat the hand pass off the Canny. A little clever kick around the body will find its way to Willems, who takes a mark. Attacking side centre wing on the outer side. So can he get one long down the line? Can Joyce get in the contest? In the end, he gives the handball off to Thompson. He used bumped as he kicked. Umpire said it was legal and fair. Glenn McGon almost took the mark from the errant pass. And it's held between him and Murphy Boyd. Umpire says, give it to me, I'll throw it in the air.
Bit of a scuffle behind play right in front of the East Point bench. We'll get...
Jeffrey was very unhappy with the bump that Tentinello laid on Joyce, and it's on like Donkey Kong now.
Yeah, just flying the flag, which high ball will go inside 50 for East Point. Glover arrived late, waiting down. Snap around the body will come from Jeffrey. It's a wobbly one, but it's all the way home. It bounced on the line. And the goal
bounced through, I thought.
And the goal umpire is on the line.
Bounced over the line and then went back in.
I reckon he'll call it a goal. That'll be my
That's a goal.
I reckon he'll tip it a goal.
I reckon the goal umpire thinks it's over the line.
Yeah, I reckon
he's giving a little head nod. He'll go bang! And the Tigers are in front. And don't the boys at the balcony love it?
I know Sunbury aren't happy, but they've got it right. Where we're sitting is right. It's like square leg umpire for a run out. That's where 30 metres away. You can clearly see it bounced over.
Yeah, and then bounced back.
Bounced up and back in and then got touched through the second time.
Well done to the goal umpire because he went, no, stop. It's a goal. It went over the line. He got the boundary to come in and confirm and then went the two-finger salute. And East Point for the first time this afternoon are in front 4-1-25 on the Metro scoreboard. Sunbury 3-4-22.
He made the right decision, Jeffrey, to stop the fight and go to the footy and kick a goal.
He did, absolutely. So it's a 3-1 quarter for East Point against what was Sunbury dominance early as the ball play gets back underway in the centre of the ground. So can Sunbury respond? Good signs for East Point. Throw up in the middle of the ground. I've liked Thomas's game for East Point. They'll win another clearance, kick inside 50. Overrun from Tentinello. Came back to Glenn Wright McWan, who had an easy chance in the end, but he's missed to the right-hand side. Through for behind. East Point 4-2-26. Sunbury 3-4-22 on the Metro.
Yeah, he had more time than he thought, and he sort of shuffled and sort of made himself more perpendicular to the goal to get that sort of right foot snap around, and then rushed it, and then it didn't spin right and just went through for a point.
Just half a second longer just to get the ball settled in his hands instead of just kicking the fat side with the snap. If he just had a more, I guess, as you said, Shane, better in his hands, he could have snapped that around the body and kicked 2 in a minute to give East Point all of a sudden breathing space. And Sunbury, well, they're hanging on. They're looking for half-time, it feels like. In real trouble as Boyd will go short. Mark taken by Noah Ryan. Takes the mark deep in the fences there, looking to just hold up plays. The sun breaks through here to make it beautiful conditions in the air. High ball down the line. And good talk from Brown behind the foot. He just called his teammate out of the way, took the mark on his chest. He wheels, off skinny kick inside. Glenn McGuire's been good at ground level. Off to Jeffrey. He's run down from behind. Was it a tackle or a bump?
It was a bump.
I would say a bump.
Well called, Sam Young.
And a free kick, though, says the umpire took a land.
Yeah, very stiff there, Jack Jeffrey. The good thing is he's back on his feet after that heavy bump earlier. As we heard, he kicked that amazing goal afterwards, so he's recovered well. Kick from Glant comes up the line. And in the end, Egan marks uncontested. He plays on quickly. Kicks inside 50. There's not many down there. Hannett found himself behind. Did he work his opponent under the ball? Umpire said no. He's going to take advantage of that, though, and just run on and celebrate like he did in that first quarter and put a goal through for Sunbury. So Sunbury back in front, 5-4-34. East Point 4-2-26 on the Metro scoreboard.
Yeah, just the smarts of Egan. They were in a go slow mode to take time off the clock, and he's just sort of played eyes up footing on, oh no, there's a guy out the back, I'm just going to go and pop it out there, go against the team rule, but the opportunity was too good to refuse, and I think it ended up in Scanlon's hand as there's a goal.
He did,
well done by Egan.
Absolutely, and that's that quick ball movement in these conditions. It opened up the opportunity for Scanlon, didn't it? And as you know, Sam Young, he loves a celebration.
Oh, he's off again. I think if I had to give him an AFL player for comparison, it's got to be Paddy Voss.
Oh,
There's just a lot of Paddy Voss about this.
I don't know if you want that comparison.
I'm just saying, from an observation, that is what I'm going to go early with. Thomas again will win it down the ruck, but Tom Owens picks it up in the muddy stuff, and he's caught and going nowhere immediately in the tackle, so we're going to ball up.
And that started from that free kick for a bump as opposed to a tackle against Jeffrey, so a bit stiff, East Point.
Mind you, Jeffrey had a week to do something.
Yeah, he did.
Wood will get the clearance and go towards half forward with that long left foot kick. Tough ball to pick up. Oh. And the umpire will give it to himself and say, that's half time, boys, as the siren has signalled here. The electronic scoreboard, thanks to Metro, does read Sunbury 4-4-28 to East Point's at 4-2-26. A quick term, a free-flowing term from a change of game style, predominantly done shown by East Point. But a late goal there to Patrick Scanlon does give Sunbury a half-time lead. And before we get there, Shane, some instance, some thoughts from that opening half from you.
Yeah, it was a tale of two quarters. Full credit to East Point. They've regrouped at quarter time. They've had a chat about what needed to change, which was not just going and kicking down the line to packs or really slow. They opened the game up. They moved it quickly. They looked like a totally different team after quarter time. As a result, they got some good looks and got some goals, and now they're only 2 points down. Off the back of change of method and movement, but also Brown being at centre-half back and just intercepting a lot of Sunbury's movement was really good. And then the MRO around the footy was really good. And then the likes of Willems and co, just being more proactive to run and carry was just the difference, really. And it's full credit. They're in the game at half-time.
Yeah, certainly those players mentioned all contenders for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day. On the goal kicking in front for Sunbury, the only mobile goal kicker on the ground is, of course, Patrick Scanlon, Jack Newen and Brock Lance on the score sheet. Was all individuals for East Point with Jack Jeffrey, Glenn Rutt-McGuire, Sam McDonald, Brody Willems, that goal of the day contender. Also on the score sheet. We're going to take a break at the Eastern Oval. Thanks to no one to get ID to a gym. You're listening to 3BA, Footy's home ground.
If there's one thing we know about winter in Ballarat, it gets mighty cold. But never fear, PT and the Big Show are ready to turn up the heat with 3BA's Winter Warmers. Head to 3ba.com.au, fill in a few details, and like a heated blanket, you could be toasty warm in no time. Up for grabs, we have heaters, heated jackets, dinner vouchers, bedding, and we may even pay a winter bill for you. PT's Winter Warmers, on now thanks to Toyland, Total Tools, Creswick Woolen Mill, and your snugly warm station. 3BA 102.3.
Let Zambrero cater for your crew. Feeding your staff, hosting a family lunch, catering a fiesta with 200 of your closest relatives, Zambrero is here for you. Zambrero offers catering to suit any size event. Pick up in restaurant or ask about delivery. With vegetarian, vegan and gluten-free options, everyone can get their feel-good Mex fix. Find out more at Zambrero.
Tackle stuck, so he's forced to release the ball by hand. Ball was strong, took them on and got away with it. Did well, fed it to Geordie Kite, shot on goal. Perfect start for the Bloods. High kick to half forward. Round ball, Hine, quick hands to George. Away they go, sidestep good around Hickey. Ran through the middle of the ground, George. Got a handball give opportunity. Gave it to Edwards. Not beyond him. Sent it forward. And he snuck it through, Edwards. So well said, Collins. Ended up in the best for North Ballarat last week. I thought Stewart was manful in the ruck. Jones dropped what he should have taken. Open the door for Walker to Hickey. And it's a goal. But just chip it. It was a poor kick. Made it difficult for Edwards. He needs to support Edwards now. Well, that was too easy. Ball got around and a shot on goal. It's a dangerous attempt. I'm not sure Matty Brett got a finger on it. Bloods are in front.
Another handball inboard to McNabb, or Mason it is, who kicks on his left shoe, looking for Edwards. Couldn't fight on Ryan did well to impede him. He's tracked after it though. Edwards shot off the handball to Shea. Shea can have a shot. Connor O'Shea has split the eye diddle.
Ballarat, if you can't see your lines, neither can anyone else. And that means it's time to call Brighter Lines. Brighter Lines specialises in crisp, professional line marking for schools, car parks, warehouses and much more. From hopscotch to heavy-duty line marking, the team does it all. Family owned with over 20 years experience, Brighter Lines delivers safe, durable results you can rely on. Call Brighter Lines today for a free quote. Brighter Lines, making every line count.
Get 30% off 4x4 and SUV tyres at My Car Tyre and Auto. Offer available from 3 to 16 August, with tyres to be fitted by 29 August. Exclusions and T's and C's apply. My Car Tyre and Auto. People first.
Ballarat's 3BA, covering the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Live.
Towards the hot spot with a high right foot kick. Big fly, and the Marcus Payton juggling attempts through the lines at full forward. An emerging prospect for a while. He's had a wonderful season with a goal here. The ball go inside 50 for East Point. Glover arrived late, waiting down. Snap around the point, it will come from Jeffrey. It's a 1v1, but it's all the way home. It bounced on the line. And the goal bounced through, I thought. I reckon the goal umpire thinks it's over the line.
Yeah, I reckon
he's giving a little head nod. Here we go, bang! And the Tigers are in front. And don't the boys at the balcony love it? Yes, welcome back to 3BA Footy's home ground. Thanks to D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, never too far from a D2E. Where our match of the round here is, of course, East Point hosting the Sunbury Lions here. And, well, Sunbury hold a slender 2-point lead on the Metro score, but East Point, 3 goals to 2 in that quarter has given them a chance coming into the second half. But it's time to go around the grounds and speak about the other games going across this great competition. Thanks to our good friends at Go Vita, your local health store. And Roger LeGrand, there's a big game at Alfred and Over that we've been keeping an eye on.
Yeah, the Swans have jumped early in that one, and we just spoke off air. You alerted us, Sam Young, that Matthew Brett a late out for Darley, a significant late out. Ballarat 6-1-39, lead Darley 2-5-17. Down at Mattingly Park, a good quarter from Sebastopol. They lead by 4 points. They were trailing quite significantly early. 4-10 though, 4-10-34. Sebastopol leading Bacchus Marsh 4-6-30. At Melton at Mackie Park, big game for Melton. Their form is starting to is on the upwards, I would have said.
100%.
Now they're 6-8-44, leading Redan 2-7-19. And the other game today is at Mars Stadium. The all-impressive North Ballarat 10-10-70. They lead Lake Wendouree 1-1-7. So I think you were saying before that Jai Lockett had been amongst the goal kickers, Youngie. You said he had a couple to start with.
Yeah, I think he had 3 or 4, and he's had a very good season.
3 in the first half, exactly. And Biggie Watch, I know that you're always on Biggie Watch. He has 2 this afternoon in that game up at Alfred.
Yeah, well, I would have thought with the late out of Matty Brent, that's a big opportunity there for and swings that pendulum, I think, Shane Simpson in my mind, for the second half and for the rest of that game in full favour of the Ballarat Swans, with obviously a lead, but just his leadership behind the foot. He's obviously the backline coach at Darley as well. I think the reality of that situation is that not having him there and Biggie being back after a few weeks off would have been a bridge too far, knowing that late teen years there. So the Swans in front and looking to, well, keep their top 2 hopes alive and all but secure 3rd place at least, if they knock off Darley this afternoon, which is, you look at the live ladder now, how things are shaping. If he wins and the game's finished as they were, it would all but signal the top 6 is closed out, with Sunbury would be on 36 points, Bacchus Marsh would be on 28, and Melton would move to 32. With a 30-odd% gap, that would mean mathematically Bacchus Marsh would have to win by about 500 points next week to move over the Melton that they were then lost. So it would pretty much lock in the top 6 if results say this the way this season.
Absolutely, and some interesting games in the Central Highlands today. Now, this is the final round of the Central Highlands, and I'll give you the scenario, Sam Young. So they have a top 8. In 8th position is Newland on 34, but on 9th is Rokewood and on 32, and Springbank on 32. So there's 3 sides effectively competing for that last spot. Newland have an easier draw. They're playing Carnham Linton today. So
you conceded 200 points last week.
Yeah, so you would expect them to get the job done. But Rokewood have said, well, we're going to give ourselves every chance because they're leading one of the ladder leaders in Learmonth by 6 points at half-time, 29-23. In other games around the Central Highlands, Clunes 54 lead Creswick 36. We don't have any scores from the Beaufort-Springbank game. Springbank, of course, the other side that can get in should Newland loss. You would expect them to win that one, but we don't have any scores on that one. Belan 21 trails Skipton 27. And no scores from Buninyong and Dunstown, but Gordon and the Dalesford early, perhaps a preliminary glimpse at what the grand final might look like. They're level on 29 apiece, and Bungaree, wow. Only lost. Have they even lost a game? I think they might have. But just that one loss. They're on 62 to Warborough 8. So.
And what's Newland doing? He didn't give us a score.
We don't have any scores from the Newland game. I reckon there could be Ducks and Drake.
That's the one we won.
Let's keep everyone kind of quiet.
They've got power at Snake Valley. Sure, they can get some live scores going.
Get on to Jake Pring, your mate out there, please, young.
Don't you worry. I'll try and guess the score. As you have opened it up, and it looks like Newland are 5-5-35. Canham just kicked their second to make it 12. So Newland in front if they win mathematically. Oh, hang on. Scores keep firing through. So live scores are changing rapidly as they've finally worked out the technology there. Carmen's flying. Someone's listening at home. They think, Carmen, they're coming. So there you go. It's only a 6-point margin now. So look at that. I like that. That was quite good on the live radio there. The score kept changing. We're excited we had a score. It's Newland by 6 points. So what that would do would secure them 8th place. It wouldn't matter if Rokewood or Springbank Victoria, they would have an extra 2 points for that draw early in the season to secure them finals. But it's been a big week in coaching news out of the Central Highlands Footy League. Shane Simpson, I'm interested to get your thoughts that former Lake Wendouree coach Rowan Brown has been appointed Rokewood's new head coach for next season.
He has. He's moved quickly back into coaching. This is just comments from afar, really, without anything too close to it. We did hear that he wanted to go on and coach Lakers next year and was disappointed not to be offered the role. And so that's a bit of an indication that he still sees himself coaching. My understanding, there was a little article in one of the other media organisations this week where he just talked about probably feeling really comfortable back at Central Highlands level, understanding that the Ballarat League asks a lot more of you as a coach. And to be fair, I think he'd be well suited to Central Highlands and Rokewood. My understanding is his playing group really enjoyed his company and he's really good to be around and he's a great country and community person. I think he'll be a great fit out at Rokewood. They are looking to improve and would probably be disappointed to be playing in a game in the last round where they have to win to get in and let other results go their way. So I think he's well suited, but he's jumped back in pretty quick, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's jumped in pretty quick, and it's interesting as well from a methodology, from an optics side of things, looking at this, because Rokewood, I think it's fair to say, is in a win-now model. They're very much trying to win now and push towards finals and higher honours now. And they've appointed someone who has, as a coach that's been at a higher level, as in no disrespect to Central Highlands Footy League, but obviously win-loss ratio doesn't suggest a pretty picture. So he's had great success in Central Highlands before. I'm just saying that there has been a little bit of commentary around that factor as well, in terms of those appointments. But Shane, you're the person to talk to this, that how irrelevant that sort of, argument can be in the media.
Yeah, I think he's a good fit for that community. He's coached Beaufort before. He's a good fit. He's a great person. He gets on well with country people. I think that's the attraction for Rokewood to chase Rowan Brown, and he's been successful at the level. What we do here, though, is Bungaree, who are leading the race, are playing the most organised footy in the comp. They've got a young coach, but whose father is being very heavily involved in Ballarat footy, Damien Ross, and in the Rebels. And my understanding is there's a fair bit of support happening. And Bungaree are the most organised and sophisticated in the league. So, yeah, it might be country footy and it might be a little bit more relaxed compared to the Ballarat League. But the leader at the moment, who you've got to beat, is playing more sophisticated footy than what has been done in the past.
Tells you the mould that it is moving forward. Here at the Eastern, other players just about some way back on the ground. So we're going to take a break. Thanks to our number one ticket holder, D2B Jim. You're listening to 3BA Footy's Home Ground.
Looking for a recently played song? Download the free iHeartRadio app or click on listen at 3ba.com.au.
Something big is happening. Harvey Norman Ballarat is expanding and renovating, and to celebrate, we're bringing you huge deals store-wide. Now's your chance to save big on all things electrical, computers, furniture, bedding in Manchester. And here's the best part. We'll be open the entire time. But don't wait. These incredible expansion and renovation sale offers won't last forever, and they're available only at Harvey Norman Ballarat. Save big as we transform your local store into something even bigger and better. Visit Harvey Norman Ballarat, 1322 Howard Street, Wendouree.
Zambrero make the best burritos in town, but it's hard to pick just one reason why they're the best. It could be the super fresh ingredients, the guacamole made in-house daily, or that their juicy, slow-cooked meat always hits the spot. Or maybe it's just because there's a sauce for every craving that comes your way. Right now, I just want one of their burritos to come my way. Zambrero makes the best burritos in town. Taste one for yourself. Dine in, take away, or delivered. Zambrero. feel-good mix.
Right now at Audi Centre Ballarat, drive away in the striking Audi Q2 S-Line edition from just $51,990 drive away. With sporty S-Line design and premium comfort, the Audi Q2 is the compact SUV built for everyday adventure. But this exceptional offer is available for a limited time only. Visit Audi Centre Ballarat today and experience the Audi Q2 S-Line edition for yourself. While stocks last, see website for T's and C's. LMCT 10285.
Audio. It's more powerful than you think. What you hear can take you far from here. It can move you to dance, to run, to tears. It's all in your ears. For advertising with the power to connect with customers in your area, start with commercial radio and audio, where brands are heard. CRA.au.
Broken glass? Missing stone? Don't replace your favourite jewellery. Restore it beautifully at Allen Brothers Jewellers, Ballarat's expert jewellers. From resizing and soldering to stone setting and polishing, Allen Brothers Jewellers brings treasured jewellery back to life with fast turnaround times, affordable prices, and a fully equipped on-site workshop. Visit Allen Brothers Jewellers today and let your jewellery shine again, because every piece has a story worth saving.
When it comes to garage doors, experience matters, as no one wants to be stuck inside or out. For over 40 years, Ballarat and District Garage Doors has kept local homes and businesses secure. A local family-owned business and a registered builder, supplying and installing quality garage doors, plus expert repairs and service backed by leading manufacturers. Fully trained technicians, competitive pricing, honest advice. Don't risk it. Call Ballarat and District Garage Doors or visit the showroom.
Stop till we let you. Now it's back to McDonald's BFNL action. Thanks to our #1 ticket holder, D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. This is 3BA football.
Welcome back to 3BA Footy Stone Ground. Thanks to D2E Jim. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E as the players are moving their way back into positions. 2-point lead on the Metro scoreboard, the way of Sunbury. Let's cross down to our man Sam Treasure, has been keeping his eyes on the players warming up. Is how the bench is looking? Is there any injury updates for us, Sammy? Who might be just...
Well, Jake Egan looks to be moving quite
making
freely.
his way back to the ground.
We were concerned about Jake Egan during that second quarter. If you've just joined us, Jake Egan, superstar of the competition for Sunbury, went down, grabbing at his arm, the same one that he broke early in the year, and we thought, oh no, he's done. He went to the bench. Shane Stimson, you were keeping an eye on it. What did you see? It was bizarre, wasn't it?
No treatment given. No sort of inquiry from a trainer. Just had a drink, had a rest.
Came back on, and he's back out there now.
It could have been just a stinger on a shoulder. I remember last year he had his shoulder strapped a lot. He doesn't have that anymore.
Sunbury will be very pleased to get him back out there, though, Sam Young.
As we're ready to go for the second half, that red footy significantly changed in colour. And we're ready to go for the second half here at the Eastern Oval. Tap one down by Galan, picked up by Sunbury with the handball forward in the direction of that man, Egan. Just hacks further forward there by the lines. And Egan, he went with his own fresh area off the ground. Real muddy conditions here, of course, at the Eastern Oval. Jeffrey took the long goal and holding the ball. Free kick will go the way of the Lions. They move quickly. Right foot kick in the pocket. Was looking for Newitt at full stretch. Yes! Struggling at 10th. Great mark.
Now, Roger, you've got some experience in this. The football is the same.
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
I thought they swapped them.
No. So what it comes down to, both clubs have to agree to swap the footy.
Why wouldn't you agree?
East Point might have said, we want to slow this ball down a little bit. We want the same footy. That would be my tip. So if you're going to swap footies each quarter, it has to be agreed on by both clubs. If one club says no, you're using the same footy throughout.
Well, Sunbury said bugger that anyway because they've gone forward and took the mark through.
But I was thinking exactly the same thing, Shane Stimson, when that ball got thrown up.
I couldn't believe it, hence I made a reference. And Newitt, who's been arguably one of Sunbury's best and a contender for the Sporting Globe Player today. They're coming for his second in these tricky conditions. That always looked off the outside of the boot and just threw for a minus score. So the Lions moved to 4-5-29. East Point's 4-2-26 on the Metro scoreboard.
But what it does is actually it will create less of a game for us to watch because you're using a footy that is like a brick.
Well, it's less enjoyment for the players to show their skills and wares. So
yeah.
We're here for the players, aren't we?
Exactly. So Jacob Brown will be the player who kicks that ball back into play, and he plays on. Runs about 10 metres and kicks it about 5. The umpire said not long enough. Good takes the mark, kicks it inside the centre area. No mark taken. Ball spills to ground. Sunbury have some numbers here in the hands of Egan from 45 metres out on the run. Jake Egan. He plays it up to the crowd. Sunbury have the first and the second half, and they're fifth of the afternoon. They go to 5-5-35. East Point 4-2-26 on the Metro scoreboard.
What make that goal so special is the speed in which he got it from the gather, one step onto his boot and through from 45. That's just exceptionally. That's exceptional. The skill to just get it, one step, having kicked it, amazingly good.
And after the miss, they do get that perfect start to the second half. They move to 5-5-35 on the Metro scoreboard to 4-2-26. And Sunbury getting a little bit of a buffer in a tight tussle here at the Eastern Oval. We'll have Thomas in the ruck once again, up against Gallant. The youngster will go with that high rise and win it down. Last left-handed palm down in the canny direction, but we'll get another repeat stoppage in the middle of the Eastern Oval. So been a lot of this, of course, in these conditions. A lot of stop, restarts. Galante well to get the ruck. Umpire's going to play free kick to him regardless for a block in the ruck, in that ruck lottery. High kick to half forward, lands in the pocket space, and will take the mark in back to Lubrick. He couldn't gather. Goo will come across. He's run down the line by Guthrie and gone.
It's just that's a little bit of a trend that he's held on the ball a bit all day and been caught, hasn't he, when he's held it a bit long?
Just some situational awareness, isn't it? Just or even some talk from those defenders around him to let him know that you're under pressure.
And he's a good striker, the Sharon is Josh Guthrie, but normally on the run, I like him from these sort of positions. And he's got Hannon in the pocket that it was all by himself, and he'll take the mark. So advances him about 15 metres close to go. It does make the angle a lot tighter, but as we've already spoken, Shane, this pocket's not impossible to kick from at the Eastern Oval.
Right of the onus has been made by the umpire to come and stand them up, which is the rule. He was looking to cut off an angle because he hasn't got a teammate standing by the side, Sam Young.
Hannon is a long kick, but his eyes are darting. At the end, he just says, I'll set for home. Right, Jagger, down it! Hannon kicks the goal from the boundary, and Sunbury get their sixth of the afternoon. 6-5-41 to East Point's 4-2-26.
So nice on the eyes from the grandstand, that ball there, just straight through.
It was an amazing kick, wasn't it? Like, heavy ball, right on the boundary.
Sort of like a pitching wedge. He just sort of looped it up. He didn't kick it too hard, and he sort of just landed it over the line.
I would love to see even AFL footballers watch that kick, because you see them do it around the corner, check side, whatever it might be, from straight in front. He's just gone back with a simple drop punch, Shane Snipson.
Yeah.
And as soon as he left his boot, there was never in doubt, and it should just, from the whole time, just said, I've got this in my arsenal, no problem. But I guess when you've kicked 12 goals in 100 games of senior footy, you can probably ask why Jack Hannon was initially looking maybe to dish it off.
Exactly. So 3 goals in a row to Sunbury as play gets restarted in the middle. East Point had hit the front, but Sunbury with the last 3.
3 centre bounce clearances too has helped, hasn't it?
Gallant starting to get on top in the ruck. Free kick going to go the way of Jacob Brown. Tackle laid on him was without the footy, and he takes the free kick after pushing the opponent. His kicking's been poor today. Williams was good enough to pick it up, got it over to Canny, onto Jeffrey, inside 50 now for East Point. Long kick towards the goal square, ball spilled over the back. Sunbury defender kicked it off the ground, came back to Glover, over to Joyce. His kick was smothered, ball's gone back about 10 metres. Joyce goes back in with Hiscock, and it'll spill out of bounds on the 50-metre line. East Point entered the ground.
Finally got some territory in this term, East Point. They've been defending for their lives, and a couple of goals to Sunbury's given them some real separation on the Metro scoreboard now. A game-high 15-point margin in this tight tussle. We'll get that ball in, as Roger Legrand so eloquently said, in side 50 just for East Point. Shallow throw-in will favour the forwards. Hacked off the deck by Sunbury towards attack. Look away handball off to Canny. Picked it up nicely. Right foot snap. Is the wrong side of the post, and a minor score is the result. 4-3-27 on the Metro scoreboard is the home side. East Point, they trail Sunbury 6-5-41.
That was a really dangerous hack by the Sunbury player. He just centralised it in and for East to gather and to get a snap-on goal. Really where you want to move the footy.
No, strange option when you're in your own defensive 50.
Jake Egan with the ball at full-back for Sunbury. Plays on. Gets a good 10-15 metres before he's pressured and kicks it long. Out onto the wing almost. Going to be a free kick, I think. No, he's going to pay the mark. It was to Newitt. Play on quickly. Somebody get a handball, and they're going to turn it over now. Comes back to Goo. He kicks inside 50 for East Point. Good kick it is too. Mark taken by Jared Joyce. And as Shane Simpson calls, finally, he's got his hands on the footy. He's going to kick for goal about 40 metres out.
When I say finally, I'm It's not a go at Joyce.
No, it's a delivery,
It's
yeah.
just been his positioning and finally gets a nice kick. Off the back of a turnover at half on the middle of the ground, which East haven't done a lot of that today, have they?
No, I would think distance is going to be no worries for him. He's a thumping kick.
Wrong side for a left footer though, Youngie.
So it might be the wrong side for most, but it might be the right side for him, and the umpire just tilts the head back. And a good response there for East Point. 5-3-33 on the Metro scoreboard. They move to and reduce the margin to 8 points.
All the more reason to get him involved in many marking contests as you can.
That's right, and even then, he was higher up the ground to what we had seen in the first half. He took that mark probably 40 metres out from goal.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that far out from goal. He's probably been playing in the 10 or 20 metre kind of parameter from goal, I would have thought. So
It's one of those games that it's hard to get a whole lot of chain of ball to get 50 out to kick deep to the goal square. We've seen very few rush behinds. We've seen very few marks sort of 15, 20 out. We've got one contested mark for Sunbury before, but you got sort of just coming from the middle into shallow entries, and that's where Joyce needs to be.
Thompson ruck against Glant, and Glant gets the footy at ground level. Hacked to the deck there by Willems, who gains a bit of distance there for East Point forward of centre. Picked up by Tentanello, who's been good. He was a bit wide there towards Miller. Initially kept his feet. His opponent didn't. Handball away to the Thompson direction for the Kangas. Did well below his knee. He's got the handball off to his cock. Right foot kick will go towards that Joyce direction. In front, East Point bring it to Sunbury bring it to ground. Handball off was clever. Breaking the tackle nicely was Egan, and they'll flip it towards Sinaf back. Dump kick there. Was down the line and ill direct Howard in front of Blake Walker takes the mark and holds things up, and almost looks like he was stepping over puddles there as he tries to get away from the tackle and spiral punts one towards half forward. Almost a mark there to a teammate there in his cock. Ball hits the turf. Well picked up by Canny. High ball into the pocket. Looking for a high marking target. Big fist there came from Eels against Joyce. Towards the boundary lines it goes and out of bounds.
That was a really high kick inside 50 to sit Joyce under it. No, I think Canny, you probably expect a bit more of him as a senior player just to flatten that out and just kick it to favour so Joyce can run into it and sort of mark it with some momentum, not just have to camp under it and let the Sunbury defence sort of descend on his shoulders.
defender Ben Eels for Sunbury, he loved that, gave him plenty of opportunity to get a fist to the ball. Ball comes back into play, comes back to Miller, who goes across the goal dangerously. Sunbury have some players. Their strong tackle late on Ben Kelly. They're going to force another stoppage, but quite a risky move from...
Yeah, I think today it's just hard sometimes when you're facing the wrong way and you're under pressure to try and change. You at the risk of slipping over, and I think that's making it hard.
Ball comes down to Ryan, to Newitt. Sunbury able to clear from defensive 50. Lucas leads in the race for East Point and is able to take a strong mark on his chest outside 50.
So a little bit of momentum has shifted here after the last goal, and territory certainly favouring East Point since. Lucas takes him out of mark, a nice little ball got away for the would-be tackler. He hits a hot spot with a kick. The scrubby kick might favour almost Joyce. He'll get the handball onto a standing target. Long rifle kick will come from the Danielsons. Didn't get great purchase off the boot. It's still alive there from the Valence kick.
Mark.
No, he paid the mark. Juggling attempt is paid. We are a good 150 metres away from this footy.
Geez, Valence won't get... For his first game, he wouldn't have had more time and space to try and get a snag, sort of 35
He
out
would
in
have.
front. It's as good as you could hope for.
Would have thought about that one all night. Mark's been paid. Our man Sam Treasure's probably got best view of
Keep
it.
it glimmer up, McGuire.
Yep, been paid the mark. And he comes in and kicks the goal. It's a 2 in a row to the Kangas. And it's
off
a
the
tight tussle again.
Off the back of them getting a few clearances. Canny, MRO, Williams in there. They've just got to fight hard there with Golan having a fair ruck advantage for Sunbury. The East do have to fight hard at ground level just to sort of offset Egan and Guthrie probably.
Absolutely. So, had 3 goals in a row from Sunbury. East Point right back with 2 of their own, and suddenly the margin is back to just 2 points in favour of Sunbury at the 11-minute mark of the third quarter. A D2E Gyms from Delacombe to Wendouree. You're never too far from a D2E. Some great action in Ballarat football this afternoon, and we're watching a ripper as the umpire comes back in to throw the ball up in the mud in the centre of the Eastern Oval. Ball comes to ground, so Walker doing the ruck for Sunbury on this occasion. Thompson was able to intercept Rodimer Onus.
Didn't have it.
Was tackled without the ball, as you heard from Shane Stimson. He's going to be the recipient of a free kick right in the centre of the Eastern Oval. The bullocking midfielder relishes these conditions. And he goes out wide towards the boundary line. Choice of 2 players, and in the end he hit one on the chest. Mark taken think it's Braden Joyce there, right on the boundary line.
It's a long way to
It
get
is.
home from there in the middle of the ground to the wing boundary.
He's in front of the scoreboard here at the Eastern Oval and called to play on. His kick is a very poor one. Turnover mark taken by Sunbury.
Sunbury looked down quickly with the turnover. High ball down the line. Simpson best position. Just weighted down, marked on his chest. Opponent overcommitted, and he goes to the lead there. Scanlon, he just knocks it to the ground. East Point with numbers, nice hand off to Dangler, who's had a slight fumble. Off to Thompson, his legs, umpire wave playing. Great pickup coming through though, is by there Bennett. Canny spits it wide. Lubrick, high right foot kick towards half forward. Big fist over the top from Riley, and umpire says in the back.
I thought that was just a really nice.
Yeah, you're allowed to, if you get the footy, that shouldn't be a free kick, and Sunbury player rightfully arguing it.
And Retoma Owens wheels around, pops it in the pocket on his head of his teammates. Would arrive late with the spoil. Out of bounds the ball goes, and we'll get a boundary throw in.
The final scores at the netball are in. Sunbury defeated East Point 51-34. So, depending on the result of Lake Wendouree and North Ballarat, Sunbury might move into third if North Ballarat defeat Lake Wendouree.
Sunny Treasure. As we're back on the way. Inside 50 for East Point with the momentum.
Oh.
Retoma Owens was collected high. Umpire says no. Strong tackle.
So, Sam, just given the margins, it's a tight game and there's not going to be a lot of opportunities. I just like East Point to keep kicking centrally inside 50, not really wide, because you just need to keep it in play a bit more, I think.
Ball thrown up by the umpire in the forward pocket for East Point. It looks like it's going to be another stoppage. So a lot of today's game has been played on the Hames Paint side of the ground, it seems, and that's where the ball is at the moment. It's down the Peel Street end in front of the scoreboard. Walker does the ruck work. Tackle late in the Sunbury play. Looked like he didn't have it. Umpire says no. It'll be 3 ball ups in a matter of a minute. As East Point trying to snaffle one to hit the front. Sunbury just trying to defend. Rodimer Onus, beautiful clearance out of that ball up. Kicked it towards the hot spot. Good enough to get through. Cooper, Glenwright, McGuan, and he will line up for goal number 3.
And where did the ball get kicked under pressure? 25 out directly in front, because that's when you can make an opportunity come about. Not kicking wide to the boundary inside 50 when it's just cuff conditions and so wide.
So Cooper Glenwright McGuan has been one of the rising stars of the competition this year. We've seen him early in the year and we're seeing him now late in the year. This is for goal number 3, which would be quite the feat in the wet conditions. He goes back and never looked like missing. Glenwright McGuan has 3, East Point have 7, and suddenly they're out in front by the margin of 4 points.
Yeah, on our electronic scoreboard, thanks to Metro, they do get in front for the second time of the afternoon. Roger LeGrand, and going into this line, Glenwright McGuan, 4 goals in 17 games. Well, in his 17th game, has 3 this afternoon, Steve-O.
Now, Roger, I've got a theory for you.
Here we go.
When East Point are winning contests and clearance, there's a majority of right footers, and they keep, because it's hard to change direction, they keep kicking out on their right side, this side of the ground.
Makes sense.
When Sunbury are winning, their right footers will kick it more often than not on the other side of the ground, and we've sort of seen a little bit of that. There's
Very
a theory.
true.
I'm just giving you a theory.
No, I'm with you on that one. I'll support you. Sam Young's a little bit sceptical, judging by the look on his face, but...
Remember Hawthorn recruited all those left footers to win those premierships because they kicked the opposite way to all the right footers.
I try to forget that time of the footballing years. Back on the way here, Sunbury net response, 1 in the ruck initially by Walker, and the umpire says it's going nowhere. We'll get another ball up.
Let's do a test. If East Point win this clearance and it's a right footer, let's see which way it gets kicked.
Pressure's on here.
Back on the way here. Picked up by Walker of Sunbury, off to Hannett, who's tried to step the tackle.
Well, he should have kicked to his right foot.
And he couldn't. He's gone. Hold the ball. Great strong tackle by Brown. Again, we did the game in the commentary box, but the game's certainly on here at the Eastern Oval. Brown, measured pass, was poor again down the middle to Molan. He retreats back to Brown. It's at his bootlaces. Turnover incoming, you feel. McLean fights the good fight for Sunbury. Muir off to a standing target. They just dump forward to Newitt. He picks up cleanly. He pounds a long one to full forward. Scanlon in a one-on-one. Scanlon was straight. He could take the mark. At ground level, they wrap around does Spiteri. He couldn't gather. Howard dump kicks. He'll come back with interest. Tough ball to Corral. Guthrie over the top, missed his target, picking the pocket nicely. There was Jeffrey, and he dumps it from half-back with a high ball. Big blind up. Taken there by Sunbury. Was he dumped? And no, not going to call 50. Mark taken there by the Lions.
Long kick inside 50 in the direction of Simpson for Sunbury. Ball goes to Graham. Bennett got a hand to it. Strong tackle laid on the Sunbury forward. Spiteri, it'll be a ball up around 15 metres from the goal. Gosh, I thought for all money that was 50, and I think the umpire thought so too, and looked like he changed his mind at the last minute. Don't like 50s in these conditions, though. It's too much of an advantage. Ball thrown in the air. Ball comes out. Egan snaps out of the pack. Through for behind. Sunbury go to 6-6-42. East Point 7-3-45 have played 17 minutes on the Metro scoreboard.
Yeah, and I just want to see a bit more out of Liam Howard. His job's to get third up in the contest, but he keeps missing the spoils. Just focus, son. Get that spoil in. That's your job.
That's his 101. That's his 1 wood. As Dang Luell will go long towards the broadcast. Oh, big flying. Mark not taken by the Kangas. Good crumb there from Bennett, but he couldn't hold on. Was in the hot contested footy. Wrapped between a couple of players there, and the umpire says, give it to me, I'll throw it in the air. 17 minutes gone.
Youngie, we haven't seen the Joyce brothers play a lot at senior level together, but geez, they've got similar physiques as brothers, haven't they?
Certainly do, the Joyce twins, as we're back on the way here. Stump around the body there from Egan inside 50. Bennett just manufactured a kick forward. Brown couldn't get it. It's off a boot. It'll be a free kick for a Lassie. Will go the way. Well, Jacob Brown's claimed it early, and he's going to get it. There's going to be a conversation which way it's... Well, off a boot. They're just trying to work out which boot it was, and Jacob Brown was first to react and claim it. Almost unrecognisable with the amount of mud that's on his jersey. And that kick inboard was dangerous to Zabe Thompson. He got in the half volley. His hand pass was poor. Lance fights on against Canny, 2 hard nuts. Canny's wrapped up, and we'll get a ball up.
The ball looks a bit cleaner. I don't know. Someone wiped it on their jersey.
Maybe there's a bucket behind the goals or something.
It was just in that centre wicket before, that black, mate.
Yeah, maybe someone's got the sponge out in between goals. As
well done.
Ball thrown in the air. Comes down to Kelly. Kick comes inside 50 for Sunbury. Good spoil from Lucas from East Point. Ball comes to ground. Kick off the ground from Parker. Hewitt leads in the race for the ball for Sunbury. Tackled. Umpire calls play on. Hannett went in for East Point. Lucas kicked off the ground. Goes McLean for Sunbury. Was he legged? Umpire said yes. Advantage paid. Guthrie from outside 50. Comes in short. Turns it over. Mark taken by Bennett.
Touched on it.
Well, the umpire put whistle mouth and play to Mark.
The bench think it's touched.
So many changes right in front of that. I reckon that ball, he'd better confirm that ball was touched, I reckon.
I don't think it was from my view, but I could be wrong.
Oh, there you go, going against Matty White. As the high ball down the line for Bennett. Well, justice maybe for Sunbury, if you will, because they're saying it's out in the full. So free kick the other way of the Lions. So 50-50 either way. Sunbury were long with a high ball inside 50.
Floating in too.
The kick's just got a bit more carry on it than anyone expected and floats out in the full. So
it is interesting. Egan's such a dangerous player forward that he just gets left to float through on his own quite a bit.
So Liam Howard will take the free kick for East Point right beside the behind post. He kicks long, almost in front of the grandstand here at the East Oval. Ball spilt over the back. Jeffrey picked up and he kicked it into the tree. Did that bounce off the tree? It looked like it hit the tree there, I thought. The umpire said, he mustn't have said, looks like it's going to be...
Is there a bylaw if it hits the tree?
I don't know. Sam Young's the expert on those kind of things.
Well, I know, like, in
other boundary.
Yeah, other codes, they would say that's out in the full, or as in, like, it would be 6 runs in cricket.
Like a marble roof.
That tree's heritage listed, isn't it just about?
Yeah, not chopping that one down in a hurry.
The grey plaque.
Ball comes back into play. It's a shallow throw-in. Gallant picks up for somebody. Was he taken high?
He
said
just had
yes.
his collar.
All he did was lower his knees, it looked like. No argument from me here. He's going to take the free kick. He's slow to get to his feet, but...
just to grab his collar.
Very unlucky, East Points. As Miles Gallant plays on. Kick is a...
Egan on his own.
Shallow one, and Egan marks
he just talked about
on
it
his
being
chest
on his own.
by himself in the drop zone.
And Egan, he's gone back and he's... Look, after...
He won't miss.
Couple of weeks ago, he had 15 shots on goal in a game. This one, he's already kicked one in this term, which was quite a wonderful goal on the run. This is similar distance, 45-degree angle to work with.
That was unopposed, that mark, 40 metres from goal.
And he got a nice slide off the deck as well.
Yeah.
He's a long and strong kick. Jake Egan starts his approach now. Can be wayward, can be accurate. He's called to play on. Brown gets close to the mark. Distance is not a problem, and the accuracy is not either. And he wants Sunbury back in front with a big goal from just outside 50.
With a heavy ball. Think about a 7-second rule.
Great
Seriously, he wouldn't have had that time to do
No,
that.
he wouldn't have. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Super kick and well called, Sam Young. He's just ability to do things at the right time. When they're challenged, he finds a way to manufacture a goal, to take a mark like he did. But as called by you, Shane Snips, it was pretty poor defence given the amount of time it took Gallant to get to his feet after that free kick.
Yeah, he's come out of the midfield to get that goal too. So it's the middies aren't manning up, or the defenders aren't demanding enough with their voice to get him get him accounted for.
So big goal from Sunbury to put themselves back in front there through their Henderson medal-winning superstar from last year, Jake Egan. He's second of the afternoon. They lead by 3 points on that Metro scoreboard. Gallant wins it down. Ratomo is like a ball through the middle. Off to Willems. Inside 50, the ball will just pitch. Picked up by Glenn Wright McGuan. Hand pass retreated D50. Now off to Ratomo. He's bumped this, he's kicked. Big in the pocket nicely was Tentanello. He'll get it off there to a teammate Stevens. Outside the boot kick. Simpson in front. Able to slap it to his own advantage. He's run down from behind. Hand pass back towards Stevens. He's run down behind and he's gone. Yeah. Good tackle by Thompson and by East Point, defence side centre wing.
So it'll be Hamish Thompson with the free kick. Kicks down the line to his brother. We've called that a couple of times today. And Bryn Thompson takes the mark for East Point. Plays on with a handball to Molan. Found himself under pressure really quickly, did Molan. And he's going to be pinged for holding the ball. Free kick going the way of Sunbury. So turnover again.
Just a bit of inexperience from Molan. The right thing's to trying to connect by hand, but he didn't look up and see he's running into trouble.
Miller finds Egan. He'll be a contender for the Sporting Go Player of the Day. Gets the 1-2 from Guthrie. Kicks inside 50. It's a long one. It's going to be a one-on-one. Newett in front, and he's paid the mark.
Oh, what's Goo complaining for? He's behind, and he's the defender. He's not spoiling.
Looked like he had enough of it for me. Umpire didn't have any doubt.
No, I'm comfortable they called that a mark.
Yeah, he paid a mark.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just the response from the East Point defender around feeling hard done by.
Yeah.
You're defending a forward, and you're trying to mark from behind, and then you're concerned, like, just punch it.
And Newett will go, screw punt, snap around the body for his seconds. He put his own case forward to be a Sporting Globe Player of the Day contender with a nice strong mark inside 50 paid by the umpire. And now Sunbury skip away with 2 in the bounce and red time to go 8:6:54 to 7:3:45.
And I just hope for East Point to grow and continue is that players aren't going, oh, you're stiff, young Goo. They should be, no, you should be spoiling. Be more aggressive to spoil. Don't take sympathy on what they might feel is a hard decision. Well, that's the learning for me.
Correct. And a good
100% Shane Simpson.
And a good smart finish by Jack Newett, who's been, I think, the pick of the players out there this afternoon. His length in the midfield, ruck, forward to centre, he's had a part in everything good that's come from Sunbury this afternoon. So Thompson in the ruck up against Gallant here. This is a big stoppage, I feel, for the spectrum of the game. And in the end, as you build it up, it'll let you down as we'll get a repeat stoppage to go once again at the 24-minute mark of the third term here at the Eastern Oval. Gallant takes out the ruck. Handball sideways in the direction there of Newett. He couldn't gather. East Point got across to Ratomo. He scrubs it 5 or 6 metres forward with the kick. And a big tackle is applied by Sunbury to lock things up. Just the attacking side of centre for East Point as we approach the three-quarter time siren here.
Marnus is out. Sam Young, you'll be pleased to hear in the cricket, if you're following that this afternoon. We're all eyes here on the football as Sam Young shakes his head vigorously. Ball comes out of that clearance. Lubick was tackled high. Umpire called play on. Picked up by Hannett for Sunbury. Handball missed the target. Went out wide. McLean tried to hit it off the ground. Spiteri went in for Sunbury. Wasn't able to pick the ball up. And it looks like it's going to be another ball up. Ball up to take place in front of the timekeeper's box. Here at the Eastern Oval, where 25 minutes gone in this third quarter. The margin is 9 points in favour of Sunbury. They picked 4 goals this quarter. Ball comes out wide. Picked up by Hiscock for East Point. Over to Jeffrey. Kicks long inside 50, the direction of Joyce. Jared Joyce leads in the race to the ball. Eels used his body really well. Allowed Sunbury to just walk the ball over the bench line. It'll be a throw in around 30 metres from their East Point goal.
I'm just recovering after you gave the cricket score, Roger, to the ground. I'm just adjusting to the Australian cricket team becoming a minnow for the next 5 years. So it's really just thrown my equilibrium out. But back with the footy action here. It's a 9-point margin on the Metro scoreboard. Inside 50 for East Point, trying to get one back as we approach that three-quarter time siren. Heavy hit coming through there was Ryan for Sunbury. And a ball up the result, 45 metres out from goal. 26 minutes now surpassed in the third term.
They'd really like to sneak one now. They've got it up their end. It's nearly three-quarter time. They just need one.
On the fly, they're unable to gather, and the clearing kick from Tentanello's dumped out D50. Little brick back in back should mark, and does. Now, can he shift an angle and open it up so East Point can go forward centre? He's held up and decides to kick long over the mark towards half forward. A tough one to mark. Off hands, hits the turf. And in the end, it could be walked over by Newell. He decided to get the handball off to a teammate under a bit of pressure. He's walked over the line.
Just
We'll get a
lost
ball in.
the last 10 minutes, that dare we saw in the second quarter to get it moving, change some angles. Just dropped off for East, hasn't it?
Well, that was the time there, the Lubric
Yeah.
mark, to then shift an angle or move it quickly at least, and then they can try to get that dare and that score as we approach that three-quarter time siren.
Ball thrown in. Thompson on the hit out. Robert Onus tried to force his way through. Wasn't. Thompson went in. It'll be another ball up on that forward half of the centre square. Clock ticks over 27 minutes. The margin 9 points in favour of Sunbury on the Metro scoreboard. Players conscious of time. Red time deep in this third quarter.
Yeah, they're trying to get a chance at 60 out, and there's 4 East forwards within 15 metres of goal. If it does get kicked in there, it's 4v4. It's just, that's not a great way to get an opportunistic goal. Just pull a couple out.
Hewitt got to Egan for Sunbury, and they're able to clear up the line. Lucas, who's been good for this afternoon for East Point, fumbled and allowed Land to come through. Walker was tackled without it. Umpire said play on. Ball came to ground, and Lubick is tackled to the ground. Free kick for holding the ball. Advantage paid. Comes out to Guthrie, who marks outside 50.
Guthrie spears the pass to leader Simpson. Lucas arrives late, but they all crash down. Now, the opportunity for the Crummers inside 50 for Sunbury. Simpson through the head back, umpire way, play on. Handball into the corridor towards Hannett. He's maybe held without it. Umpire put the whistle away altogether. Play on's the result. Diving is desperate with East Point. Egan's run down. He got the handball away, said the umpire. Willems just said, I've had enough of this, and dumps out D50. Jeffrey, juggling mark.
Great mark.
What a mark.
Texanello hanging off him like a branch.
2v1, and he just, he's arched his back, and that showed beautiful hands.
So 28 minutes gone, third term. 9 points in margin thanks to Metro. Jack Jeffries has it at half back for East Point to hold things up as they trail. He's going to be run down from behind. He took his full time, had it run him down. He played on. He had the full forward. He'll need a miracle bounce. He won't get it. It's through for a minor score, but...
Was he in the protected zone to be 3 metres?
He came from outside the protected zone. That was fair enough, and he just took too long to kick it. He was called to play on. The umpire did the right thing, paid hold in the ball. He was definitely outside that 5 metres that you're supposed to be behind the player with the ball. So, again, that talk, that situational awareness that was spoken about a couple of times today. As Jacob Brown, he would look at the clock and see that it's nearly 29-minute mark. He's directing all these players to move over to the Hames Paint side of the Eastern Oval, and he plays on again. Kicks it up the line. It was touched off the boot. Kenny doesn't know that, but he plays on quickly, gave it to Hiscock. Kicked it up the wing in the direction of Jeffrey, who's played a good game this afternoon, Jack Jeffrey. He kicks it inside 50, so suddenly East Point have a chance. Race on for the ball. Ryan gets back, overran the footy. East Point come through. A handball comes out back towards Ryan, not able to pick up. Sunbury able to clear under pressure into the centre of the ground. Mark taken by Egan.
So Egan marks and holds things up initially. Now he goes to his left side. He tries a barrel on the run as it floats inside 50. A bit of a chaos ball. Bennett got across. Couldn't impact. Land had it broken up by Lucas. He hacks up the deck and he went again nicely below his knees, but they're not done yet. Spiteri off to Guthrie. He shows composure. Land in a pocket space. Just couldn't get the hands up to take the mark. He put the stiff arm out. Go away for a would-be tackler. Arts the back. Hits to the goal. Marked on the goal line by East Point. And they hang on with the short pass in the pocket to find Hiscock.
Good mark by Zane Lubick. Dad was a great Ballarat football player. Played for Redan. Played for North Ballarat, I believe. As Hiscock kicks the ball long up the line towards Molan. Ball comes to ground. Picked up by Riley. Slower than a wet week. Should have been pinged for holding the ball. Umpire called play on. Jeffrey kicks the ball off the ground. Miller goes in. Tries to pick it up. Wasn't able to do so. Supported by Ryan for Sunbury. It looks like it's going to be a ball up on centre wing on the Hames Paint side of the Eastern Oval.
As the siren sounds, as the umpire went to put whistle to mouth, the signal 3/4 time here at the Eastern Oval. On the Metro scoreboard, East Point 7-3-45 trail Sunbury 8-7-55. A couple of goals to Paddy Scanlon, Jake Egan and Jack Muir with singles to Brock Lance and Jack Hannes, whilst Glenn Rock McGuire leads all comers on the ground with 3 majors going into the 3/4 time break. Singles to Jared Joyce, Brodie Williams, Jack Jeffries and Sam McDonald. We're going to take a break here at the Eastern Oval thanks to our No. 1 ticket holder, D2E Gym. You're listening to 3BA Footy's Home Ground.
80s hits you love. Your favourites from the 90s and 2000s. 60s and 70s tracks that stand the test of time. music and more of it. Ballarat's 3BA.
Audio. It's more powerful than you think. What you hear can take you far from here. Can move you to dance, to run, to tears. It's all in your ears. For advertising with real power, start with commercial radio and audio, where brands are heard. CRA.au.
Catering for your crew? Zambrero is here for you. Zambrero offers catering to suit any size event. Pick up in restaurant or ask about delivery. To find out more, head to zambrero.com.au/catering. Zambrero, it's Feel Good Max.
Proudly local and here for Ballarat. That's Ross Street Building Supplies. Locally owned and operated for 34 years, they're your neighbours. Not a franchise. From framing, flooring and doors to pergolas, decks, fencing, gates and garden gear. They've got what you need. Backed by friendly service and know-how you can trust. They'll cut it, load it and deliver it fast. Support local. Build local with Ross Street Building Supplies. 3 Ross Street, Ballarat, or visit discounttimber.com.au.
Right now, at Isuzu Ute Ballarat, you'll get 3 years free servicing on all new Isuzu MUX vehicles, sold and delivered before August 31st. How good is that? 3 years free servicing on your new Isuzu MUX, only at Isuzu Ute Ballarat. Some exclusions and terms and conditions apply. LMCT 10285.
Drop everything. Your local bedshed store is having a massive stock clearance, with end-of-line items drastically reduced. Hurry in store for huge savings while stocks last. T's and C's apply. Bedshed. No one's better in the bedroom.
The Hepburn Palais is one of Victoria's most iconic regional live music and event venues, and a truly special place to enjoy a diverse range of live entertainment in an intimate and historic space. See great Aussie acts live and experience entertainment the way it's meant to be, with a brand new state-of-the-art sound and lighting system. Discover great Australian artists coming to the region at hepburnpalais.com.au. The Hepburn Palais Theatre, 100 years of great entertainment.
With over 40 years as an independent, not-for-profit organisation, Ballarat Community Health are committed to providing accessible, affordable and quality health and wellbeing services. With over 80 different programs and services, we can support you and your health and wellbeing. To find out more about our 6 Ballarat locations and our range of healthcare services, simply search Ballarat Community Health online.
Ballarat Community Health, keeping Ballarat healthy.
Be brave and help fight child sexual abuse this Bravehearts Day. Friday, September 11. Raise funds and awareness to help protect Aussie kids. Register now for your free supporter pack. braveheartsday.com.au.
Ballarat's 3BA, covering the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Live.
Ball spills to ground. Sunbury have some numbers here in the hands of Egan from 45 metres out on the run. Jake Egan! He plays it up to the crowd. Sunbury have the first and the second half.
It is a long kick, but his eyes are darting. At the end, he just says, I'll set for home. Right, Egan, down it! Hannah kicks the goal from the boundary. Yeah, welcome back to 3BA Footy's home ground. Thanks to D2E, Jim, from Delacan to Wendouree. You're never too far from a D2E, as it is Sunbury by 9 points on the Metro scoreboard. And before we hear from our man Sam Treasure was listening to Matt White's three-quarter time address, I'm interested in your thoughts, Shane Simpson, going into this final term.
Yeah, one of the things I look for when I analyse all the teams across the comp is who are the class players and who are the sort of needle movers and who can have real impact on the game. And what we've seen is holding true to that, in that Newitt, Egan and Guthrie, when there's something needed and a lift's required, they have just got a bit more class than everyone else on the ground, and they can, just adjust the course of the game. That being said, East's effort's been really good, and it's sort of one of those games where, 10 points at three-quarter time, that if East get the next goal, then she's game on for the rest of the quarter. I think if Sunbury get that one, it's going to be hard for them to come back.
Just quickly, Sammy Treasure, what did Matty White have to say at three-quarter time?
Yeah, he mentioned he wants his forwards to stay active and also that the mids don't block the hole. Let them lead, give them that space. He also emphasised that he's never won here. Today's a good opportunity. I've also got 2 stats that mattered, plus 18 inside 50s for the game favouring Sunbury and plus 4 marks inside 50. He was very brief than Matty White. It was more motivational.
Well, the 4 points will all but secure a finals berth for them. Can they hang on here at the Eastern Oval? Almost back on the way for the final term. First tap went the way of Thomas, but hacked there by Egan out to the vacant space on centre wing on the broadcast side. East Point get the numbers around the contest initially. A hack up the deck was Canny. Clean pick up by Miller under these conditions. Goes inside to Stevens. Off to the streaming Egan. Lowers the eyes, left foot kick. Hit the turf. Still lost. Hacked on the deck by Lucas. Has been good behind the footy for East Point. He spits away the hand pass in the Howard direction. Has to retreat back together. Swings the handball up ill directed. Straight to Walker of Sunbury. He pounds the full forward. In front, Scanlon, he marks.
Egan's had 3 touches in that passage from the centre bounce, 2 off the ground, handball received, kicked to full forward. And then unfortunately, Howard had a really poor error by hand to turn it over when everyone else was out of play, and now there's a pretty easy shot on goal for Scanlon, full forward.
Just a kick to the top of the square from turn from Walker. In position A was Paddy Scanlon. He's kicked a couple. It's been a welcome return as they...
He makes a difference to him, doesn't he, Youngie?
Just
He really does.
straightens them up, doesn't he? And directly in front from 20 metres out, little skip. And
he's missed it.
He has missed and left that door ajar. A little bit further for East Point. 11 points the margin on thanks to Metro. A big miss in the spectrum of that contest there directly in front of 15, Roger LeGrand.
So a vital opportunity missed from the Sunbury Lions to Pat Scanlon, as you heard Sam Young say. His first game back today, and he's played deep forward. He kicked 2 in the first quarter. Shot on goal from around 25 metres out there. One he should usually kick, and he's missed it to the left-hand side. So that margin is 11 points in favour of Sunbury at the start of the last quarter. Brown will do the kicking duties for East Point. In the end, he plays on and handballs out to Deng Lual, who goes onto his left boot. I like the way Deng Lual kicks. He's pretty efficient. He found Canny. Canny played on quickly and came back to Brown. His kicking efficiency, whilst he's had plenty of it today, has been down. Look at the Premier Data stats during the week, but he struggled a bit by boot today, but can't criticise his effort. That one actually hits the target. Jeffrey got the arm chop free kick in the centre of the ground, and he'll take it in front of Tintinello. Jeffrey's kick is high up and under in the direction of Howard, who's drifted forward for East Point. Used his body well. Got the handball over to Hiscock from 50 metres out. Looks for the lead. Good spoil from Riley, and it'll be a throw-in right in front of the Sunbury bench.
Now, Roger, my right footer's theory. Right footer from Brown across to that hand side, to that side, to that side, all the way.
Your theory's stacking up in my books. It's just Sam Young. You've got to convince Snibbo.
He's got kick on the burst. He went short the box.
He should have went to Joyce at full forward.
Had to be a better kick inside 50. Joyce doing the rack work there, and the tackle applied by the Sunbury defence to hold it up in D50.
I think that kick is for inexperienced players. Is that movement catches their eyes, and that's the one they give first, not thinking what else is around.
Correct. Just half a second longer holds onto it. You might see Joyce on the burst deeper inside 50. Canny, left foot snap towards the top of the square. Riley and Glenn Wright McGuan. Riley going to be good. He hacks it off the deck for Sunbury. Miller gets across. Disguised to sucker nicely towards the boundary line. Walks it over the line. We'll get a ball in inside 50 here for East Point. They trail by 11 points on the Metro scoreboard. 3 minutes into the final term. First blood desperate. A golden opportunity missed in the opening minute by Paddy Scanlon. Can East Point make them pay with a stoppage inside 50?
Ball thrown back into play. It'll be Glover up against Gallant. Glover one out. Molan came through, as has Willems. He's been great today. Managed to get a handball through. Came back in the direction of Jeffrey. Wasn't able to get it. And Nathan Wood used all his experience.
Just the way the umpire charged
and
him there.
just
I thought he was going to...
walked it over the line.
He just came charging for 3 deep. I thought, oh, hello.
He's playing for those watching the stream. He is Youngie, and it's going to be a throw-in. Beside the behind post, right in front of us here at the East Point social rooms. Umpire throws the ball back in. Gallant. Glover grabbed it out of the ruck, was tackled straight away. It's going to be a ball up around 15 metres from the East Point goal.
Youngie, you wouldn't have had Glover doing forward ruck work in your
No, it wasn't on my bingo card at all. But he actually competed well.
Yeah, he did.
Gallant and Glover. Glover again takes it out of the air, but won't just sandwich between him and Egan. So we're going to ball up 20 metres out.
This is where you want the third up rule to come back, just to clear it out.
Yes.
100%. Glover again with the tap, but only straight to his opposing ruckman Gallant. He pins the arm nicely, and the umpire wasn't blindsided. He might have seen that Gallant wasn't making a real genuine attempt to get rid of it. We'll go again. He's a ruckman in disguise. Glover again with a knockdown. Clever kick by Miller to get it out of the pack. Now Stevens off to the drive-by in Egan. He dumps it out D50. Dropping the mark there with Simpson off his chest. Can East Point repel? Good follow-up on the tackle bonds by Simpson and a throw against Lucas. And Sunbury have a big win there in the youngster in game 2.
He's done some nice things this afternoon. Adam Simpson. Adam Simpson, of course, shares a name with the former West Coast North Melbourne champion. Goes in short. Ball hit the ground, I reckon, before Stevens was able to pick it up. An umpire agreed he's going to throw the ball up in the middle of the ground. So clock ticks over. 5 minutes here in the last quarter. The margin 11 points in favour of Sunbury on the Metro scoreboard. Gallant won the hit out. So no real advantage. Newitt, who's a contender for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day, won the clearance. Kicks forward. Lucas spoils for East Point. Tapped out towards the boundary line. Hannett leads in the race for the ball. Lucas following up that effort, and it'll be a boundary throw-in right on centre wing on the Bowls Club side of the ground.
Best game I've seen Sam Lucas play.
I agree. Yep.
He's been super behind the footy this afternoon, in withholding a lot of attack from Sunbury, who, as Sammy Treasure mentioned a very good time, plus 18 going into this final term in inside 50s. Picked up there by East Point with a hand pass. And the umpire says, hold, as he said?
High, maybe?
Maybe. Either way, free kick will go the way of Hiscock and the way of East Point. Centre wing, virtually opposite from our broadcast position on the far side of the ground, about 150 metres away from it. With the launch one into the half-forward flank region. Joyce against Eels. Eels had front position. He fist it out of bounds. No nonchalance sort of approach that one. Just
Roger,
said, bang.
Do you think the Adam Simpson for Sunbury has a Hungry Jack's store? Or
Oh, potentially so. Potentially so. Why wouldn't he?
Well, blue and in the blue jumper, the old V, just reminds me of 07 North Melbourne colours as well.
Ball thrown back into play. Glance has given away.
No, he's
going to get a free kick. No, he's given away a free kick. It's going to go the way of Xavier Thomas for East Point. He's outside 50. He's going to go back and kick long inside 50. Pack will fly. Glenwright McWan gets to a good position. Found himself behind the end. Eels did well. Tentinello with a clearing kick. Looks like it's going to be a lasso free kick under the tree, going the way of East Point.
So can they hit a hot spot again? Want to see maybe Joyce get an opportunity to have a real run and jump at it. Shifting the angle a little bit. Now goes back in that Joyce direction. Somehow Jeffrey almost with the mark at full stretch. Tentinello dives in to hold things up just inside 50, right in front of in the right forward pocket in front of the Sunbury coach's box. The unique positioning that is here at the Eastern Oval. We'll get a ball up 40 from goal. Quick restart. Big fly top by Joyce in the ruck. In the end, he got his own tap. That's out between him and Gallant, and we'll get another stoppage.
Sam Treasure would have a great view of this, I would have thought, Sammy. It's almost right in front of you in the Sunbury box as Gallant grabs the footy out of the ruck again. Handball. Was it Ryan? Was met heavily. Umpire called play on. Came back to Canny. Gave it the outside of the boot treatment. Newitt picked up. Geez, he's been good, Jack Newitt. Handball came back to Gallant. Kick was smothered. Kelly clears for Sunbury. Out in the direction of the East Point bench. Bryn Thompson dropped the mark he might have otherwise taken. Ball comes back to Brown. Back to Thompson. Kick inside 50. Wood in front. Glenwright McWan. Handball in the direction of Braden Joyce. Was he pushed in the back?
Yeah.
Snibbo thought so. Sam Young thought so. I wasn't so sure, but
Boys
doesn't
in the
matter.
broken, he certainly thought so.
Braden Joyce will line up for goal.
There's a little bit of mayonnaise on the action from Joyce, but I'm happy he's got it.
Now, with no disrespect to Braden, I think they'd probably be asking, preferring maybe Jared was the Joyce having the shot on goal, but hasn't kicked the goal this season.
Importantly, he's just outside the real muddy area. He's just got a little bit of clean grass to get a bit of purchase here.
A big kick. Right foot one's on its way, and he's got it! Joyce kicks the goal. East Point get the A, and we're back to a 3-point ball game here at the Eastern Oval.
Well, if Sunbury sort of rested a few and managed a few to have an easy week, that is such a contested game today. They will have some sore bodies during the week.
And it's a game they need to win, as we said in the pre-game. Like, they've got Ballarat next week at home, which is not gimme.
And back to March, of course, have Lake Wendouree in the final round.
That's right, could suddenly find themselves under pressure. So all of a sudden, that margin, 3 points, there's still plenty of time for either side. 9.5 minutes gone in the last quarter. The D2E Jims from Delacombe to Wendouree, and never too far from a D2E. Thompson won the hit out, didn't go to advantage, so it's going to be a repeat ball up.
And finally, we've got Jared Joyce 40 out from goal.
And it's because Glenn Rottwell-Gardens kicked 3, so they think, we'll pay him deeper to goal. So it took him to kick 3.
So he's the decoy.
He's now the decoy. That's what I'm saying it wholeheartedly. Back on the way here in the middle of Eastern Oval. Can they get the clearance, the Kangas, and continue that momentum forward? No, they can't hold up in the McLean tackle.
Just needs some Egan magic, do Sunbury, or Guthrie's now spending some time in the middle. He's spent most of the day forward. Speak of the devil, he won that clearance with a handball. Wasn't a real advantage, though. Brown was able to pick up. He found our last goal kicker in Braden Joyce. He comes inboard and finds Rodimer Onus. Will he play on? He will. He goes out towards the outer side of the ground, and you can hear in the background Shane Simpson clapping his hands. Perhaps for our listeners, Sam Young can explain why Shane Simpson's...
Because Jared Joyce has marked 45 out of 45
Say that again for us.
45 out of 45-degree angle. And we know he's a booming kick.
And what's Shane Simpson been saying all day?
Get him 45 to 45 metres out. And it was a great spit from the contest initially by Braden Joyce to get wide. Go back with a brave kick to Rotomos to find Jared Joyce inside 50. Left foot kicks a little shallow of the boot off the line. It's touched on the line by Walker. Just didn't cleanly strike it in the muddy conditions.
What we do need to mention, though, is Mikita Rodimer Onus' courage going back with the flight to get that mark to kick it to Joyce.
And play on quickly.
Super.
So Noah Ryan's going to do the kicking in duties. No, of course, Tyson Lever, who normally traditionally does it for Sunbury. And that short pass will find Murphy Boyd. Spent a fair bit of time off the ground through run-throughs with trainers. Lucas broke things up. The target was Egan. He slipped the whoopie tackler. Ran his full 15. Dumps a high ball down the line. Lance slips at the back, but Goo in front is able to mark on his chest.
It's actually Zane Lubick who's not taking the mark.
These players just handed over on the mark. Is that almost a 50 for stand?
Yes, I think you would be correct, Shane Simpson. I'm impressed with the umpire knowledge this afternoon as Wood takes the mark for Sunbury. Comes out and finds Newitt, arguably the best man on the ground. Back to Guthrie. Guthrie goes onto that right boot, snaps it over his shoulder. Getting back with great courage under fire. Magnificent mark taken by Deng Lual. He plays on, goes across the ground direction of Brown. Lant gets in for the intercept. Wasn't able to mark it. Brown was taken high. Umpire says, I agree, I'm going to pay a free kick to Jake Brown.
What Lant did well, though, is turn in the air and not give front on contact, even though he went early. It was really good technique.
Yep.
So Brown deep in defence. Might look to shift the angle back. In the end, he sells a bit of foot candy on the mark and manufactures the right foot kick down the line. This time to Goo, who'll mark at half-back. As he slows things up, he'll go back laterally, and Howard will take the grab inside defensive 50 as they work the angles and try to think the best method way forward. And in the end, they're just forced to kick down the line, and Egan breaks it up.
Egan. So he's pressing a strong claim for BOG.
He is.
He's already got one Sporting Globe Player of the Day award for the season, and look, he liked the venue so much, he arrived today and said, I might go for a second one.
Do you reckon he's a ribs man or a Palmer youngie?
I reckon he's a whatever hell he likes kind of man.
He was clutching at the ribs early on today.
Yes.
Maybe if he went tonight, he could watch Australia fail in the cricket.
Must be all over by then. Ball comes back into play. Bryn Thompson won the hit out for East Point. Tapped off the ground. Rodimer Onus has definitely stepped up his game in this last quarter. He kicked it off the ground. It's going to be touched over the boundary line, and it's going to be a throw. And he's really come to the fore, hasn't he, Shane Simpson?
He's been strong at the contest, and they needed a lift in there. He has been pretty good in the second half.
So it'll be a throw-in right on centre wing. Hames Paint side of the Eastern Oval. Margin 4 points in favour of Sunbury at the 13-minute mark of the last quarter. The clearance goes the way of Sunbury. Kelly tried to go around one, was tackled. Umpire called play on. Probably unlucky East Point not to win the free kick there. It's going to be a ball up just inside the centre square on the Hames Paint side of the ground.
There's just a little window. Gollant's not in the ruck for Sunbury. They've got Walker in there, so it's just whether they can get a few clearances.
They get one here where it was partially smothered in the end by McLean. He then busts his way through, just trying to rush it forward. Come the other way.
Lasso.
It's off a boot.
Accidental boot.
Yeah.
From Thompson.
That's the one that I guess a lot of people hate, is where it's just accidentally ricocheted when you try and do the right thing and attack the footy, and free kick by the way of McLean in the way of Sunbury.
A boot is a boot, Sam Young.
I know. I'm just saying.
You scored a goal if it accidentally come off your foot.
That's right.
High ball inside 50 for Sunbury. Fisted away by Lucas in the fence. Hits the turf off to Guthrie. Trying to step inside. Picked up more cleanly there by Egan and went with an non-preferred and sent it out in the full.
By about 30 metres out in the full.
Just picked it up. Rarely kicks on the non-preferred side, and well, I can see why, as that went out of bounds on the full free kick East Point.
So 4 points the margin 14 and a half minutes in the last quarter on the Metro scoreboard. Brown for East Point with the ball in hand. He's deep in defence, almost beside his behind post. He
sold candy again.
Sold the candy and went round the man the mark and kicked it long outside 50. Guthrie flew for Sunbury, wasn't able to mark. Ball comes out towards the boundary line. Egan just managed to get a handball to it. East Point looking to clear. Bryn Thompson up the line, finds Jeffrey out in front for East Point. He plays on quickly, kicks it inside 50 for East Point. A 2-on-2. Riley's eyes off the footy. Muir found himself in front, ducked over the back was McDonald. Ping for holding the ball. Free kick to somebody going the way of Dean Muir.
Dean Muir, he left his man to take that mark, attempted the mark, didn't take it with the follow-up tackle. McDonald was superb. And free kick the way of him. Plays on, goes for his full run, measures the pass towards centre wing on the broadcast side, Walker the target, fisted away by East Point's defence and out of bounds it will go.
Around the grounds for Go Vita, gents. Ballarat are leading Darley by 17 points and Sebastopol leading Bacchus Marsh by 10 points. Melton are well comfortably over Redan as well as North Ballarat over Lake Wendouree.
Thank you very much, man. Sammy T doing fine work in the boundary line this afternoon here at the Eastern Oval as we'll go out of neutral territory for the restart. Thompson wins it down. Egan had to do his own advantage more than anything. Picked up retirement bonus off to Fraser Mullen. Handball out up towards Thompson, just put it out in front. He just knocked it forward and tried to go with the soccer again. McLean put his head over the footy and the ball up 55 from goals the result.
So around 55 from the East Point goal. Ruck contest. Guthrie almost threw that. Umpire said play on. Rodimer Onus got a handball back to it. Brown, he's suddenly under pressure. He's strong enough in the hips to get rid of it though. Lost the footy in the process. Strong tackle laid on Lubick and it'll be a ball up just inside the centre square. So territory game, Shane Snibson.
Yeah, I just wonder with Walker in the ruck whether East put a Lucas or a Danglewell in the ruck just to do something different in there to get a couple of clearances.
Walker wins the hit out, knocked it on. Went over the head of Rodimer Onus, came back to Lubick's, done some good things this afternoon onto the first gamer in balance. Kick comes up towards 50, Tensinello in front. Tackle late on Eels, Hiscock, Guthrie up the line for Sunbury and a mark taken. He'll slow it down in Egan.
So Egan, as you said, slows down initially, but then Guthrie continued to run on, so he gave him the hand pass. Couldn't ignore him any longer. Spearing pass, find the land, just millimetres between him and the line. He's able to complete the mark. No one stands the mark, so you can just go for a run. Look to pound one inside forward, 50 for Sunbury. It's a long kick, hits the turf. East Point with the numbers, Dangler on the last line of defence. He goes down the middle with the kick. It's a dangerous ball. McLean coming the other way, put the stiff arm out, got the handball away. His teammate coughed it up though, off to Thompson. So East Point go to half forward now. Murphy Boyd getting back though will mark in between centre wing and half back for Sunbury.
It's sort of getting to that time where East need to make some changes to either win by a point or lose by 3.
So Murphy Boyd's kick was dangerous, but he went and followed it up. His kick was then smothered. Lual's come right up the ground. McDonald inside 50, 1-on-1. Kick goes over Jeffrey's head. Ball comes to ground. Was the tackle high? Umpire said no. What was on the other side of that? Somebody bench is not too pleased. It'll be a ball up around 20 metres from the East Point.
You know what I mean, Youngie? Sometimes you've got to do something to try and... You might lose by 3, but it could get you the win.
Correct. Got to, throw something. Caution to the wind, if you will. As the tap from Joyce is into the hot spot. Hacked off the deck, but smothered was Eels.
Even put Joyce in the ruck for a bit.
Yeah.
Just do something where he might get a long hit or get a kick somewhere. You've got to do something to get...
Well, my thing's been real proactive here, and I'd have Joyce not rucking and just flying through a stoppage on his left side and someone flying through on the right side. But Joyce is in the ruck, and he's going to go up against Gallant. Gallant will win it down. Matoma owns the hands and knees as he's been all afternoon. He can't emerge from that one, but he's been super once again, has MRO.
And Sunbury have got players sort of goal side of this stoppage, so East need to exit out the back or out the side, not try and go through the front.
35 metres out from the East Point goal. Umpire throws it up. Joyce won the hit out, went straight down to Guthrie. It's going to be another ball up. It's right in a real rough, muddy patch of the Eastern Oval. Ball thrown up again. Gallant, this time one out, came to Egan. Handball went to a teammate in Kelly who dropped it. Brown went whack in. He had the chance to get rid of it. Chose not to, holding the ball.
I'm okay
Good
with
free kick going the way of Ben Kelly.
I'm okay with the slow holding the ball because if he coughed that up by hand, there was 3 Sunbury players ready to pounce.
So Kelly, free kick is true centre half back for Sunbury. We played nearly 20 minutes in this final term. Long right foot kick. Because off the instep, Mullen from the side takes the mark, and he goes. Pulls to kick the centre half forward. It's a nice pass. Mark's taken there by Broder Willems.
Jake Brown's been moved forward too.
Swings around, hits the full forward, looking for Joyce! Spill between his grasp, Sunbury's defence desperate. Wood had high contact through the head back. Free kick to the veteran, the last line of defence.
Yeah, right free kick.
Just that stray arm just dragged it back slightly, and the contact, the free kick is the way of Nathan Wood.
So Nathan Wood, long kick, kicks back to that man Brown who's drifted forward. Good spoil by Gallant in the end. Came back to Lucas, kicked inside 50. Glenwright and McGuan couldn't mark. Ball went to Graham. Mule went to pick up for Sunbury. Taken high. Umpire called play on. Handball over the top, and it'll be a throw-in right in front of the Sunbury bench. Nervous times for both sides. 4-point the margin. Shane Stimson.
Yeah, so that's good. Brown's forward now to do something, and Lucas has come up high, sort of for a re-entry. He's been good today. They've got to take some risks here.
Correct. Give up the chance of it. If Sunbury can get out the back, they may score and ice the game, but you've got to win it before you can lose it. There's inside forward 50, shallow throw will favour Joyce. He just took out the ruck, quick hands on his far as Egan. He walks through traffic. Left foot kick will dump it out D50. Dangler with the spoil for East Point. Did well to bring it to ground, but big win for Sunbury to gain some territory, get it out of the fence, and get a stoppage on centre wing on the outside.
Yeah, important clearance from Egan, wasn't it? And just to get territory.
Scanlon's pushed right up the ground for Sunbury as well to try and get some numbers around us. That throw up will be repeated. Gallant, as we've seen numerous times today, grabs the ball out of the ruck and tackled straight away. Throwing, Gallant hit it this time to no real advantage. Handball from East Point came back over the shoulder in front of their bench now. Gallant went and intercepted that. It'll be a throw-in. So
they've had a good 10 minutes, East Point. It's been in their half of the ground.
They are doing the pressing.
Look dangerous yet, have they?
Exactly. They just need some space, don't they? 21 and a half minutes gone in the last quarter. Ball thrown back into play. Good hit out from young Thomas. Ball went to ground. It'll be another ball up.
Rhoda Moronis not on the ball, just resting forward now to try and get onto something. That's a good move rather than this late in the quarter go to the bench.
Correct. Got him on the ground. Thomas with the early fly. Gallant still took out the ruck. He was given an eternity to get rid of it. The umpire said he had too long to get rid of it, holding the ball. Thomas with the free kick. In senior game number 3. He'll go the spearing pass half forward. A little pocket found. Mark taken there by Hiscock. He'll wheel around. He'll look long. He'll look strong. And he'll look for retirement owners. Jeffrey weighted down. Got the hands free. Sunbury's desperate defence. High Tensinella kick. Big mark been taken. Racing over the top. It's Archie Bennett in game 2. Josh Guthrie had to sit there for eternity. And young Bennett come from the clouds.
Can he handle the moment? Can he handle it?
Archie Bennett played a senior game in round 5.
He'd be sick in the guts.
Hasn't been seen since.
He'd be just, the feeling in his belly.
He looked up towards the sky too and thought, gosh, it's all on me.
What a mark for young Archie.
25 out.
Will come in on a 45-degree angle from 25 metres out to put East Point in front. Oh, yeah! Don't the boys on the balcony love it?
Is that his first goal?
That's his first goal in senior footy. And Bennett's put East Point in front.
So now they go from how can we attack, how can we get a goal, what have we got to put in place now to stop Sunbury just getting a quick reply? And that centre bounce is so important, given Egan and Guthrie and what they can do.
Well, this is where Ratonos has to get back in the middle of your field.
Yeah.
He's staying forward here, but this
I think
massive clearance. It's the game right here.
He's labouring a bit, his Ratonos. He looks quite sore, but as you say, even if you were sore, you'd be in there. There's still time. There's still only 23 and a half minutes, I reckon. I mean, I'm no judge, but there's still a few minutes to play as the umpire throws the ball in the air. Gallant comes down to Egan, gets the handball over the top to Stevens, back to Newitt, dribbler kick inside 50, comes back to Stevens on the right boot, long kick towards full forward. Plays on, kicks the goal. Sunbury back in front.
We haven't seen for 28 minutes Sunbury have 5 possessions in a row without East touching it, and it just went bang, 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 goal off the back of who? Guess who in the middle? Egan.
10-4-64, sorry, 9-8-62, Sunbury, 9-4-58, East Point, Metro scoreboard.
Wow.
24 minutes gone. How's the mark, Sam Young from Scanlon?
Oh, great mark and goal. He's third of the afternoon from ecstasy to pain in 20 seconds for East Point.
Oh, and they didn't have an extra behind the ball. They still had 6 forwards. They did not lay a touch on Sunbury for 5 possessions in a row.
You know, in tough conditions.
We haven't seen that all day.
No.
In tough conditions, the clean, perfect play from Sunbury when the game's on the line, expertly done. And Jake Egan at the source, well, may have just put himself as the top contender for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day for his individual brilliance. For that alone. Game on the line, 25 minutes gone, final turn. One in the ruck there by East Point forward. Egan's caught in that tackle. And we're going to have a ball from the restart. As you said, Roger LeGrand, there's still a little bit of time in this game. It could go either way. Hacked to the deck by Gallant of Sunbury. Diving in with Stevens. Hit a couple important touches to send him forward. Joyce. And wants to return runners. Was he given liberties? Umpire says no. Big strong tackle by Boyd. No prior opportunity. Ball up centre forward.
So it'll be a ball up inside the centre square, favouring the East Point end of the ground. Big hit out. Came from Gallant. Then kicked it. Leading the race of the ball is Lant. He's got some room. Very cleverly got round one. Got a tackle. And then got run down. Hold the ball.
What a tackle. What a tackle.
And guess who?
Archie Bennett.
What 5 minutes he's had, Samuel.
Oh, he's becoming a cold hero for our eyes. Put him in front. Run down tackle. Goal-saving tackle. Can he set up the play here? Goes to centre half back to find Daniel Llewellyn. He'll take the mark. He's been so good today. He directs a little bit of traffic in front of him. And now he will go to his natural left side. High ball to half forward. Mullins behind. Floating across there was Joyce. He couldn't mark. Somebody playing Guthrie's caught the tackle. We'll get a ball up 75 minutes after 26 minutes gone in the final term. It's on the Metro scoreboard. Sunbury by 4 points.
Ball thrown up. Hit out one by Thompson. Came back in the direction of Brown. Went in strongly, as did Miller. Ball spills free. Comes out to Lance. Surely he wouldn't get caught twice. Gets a kick inside 50. Leading in the race for the ball is McLean. Round 1, round 2 from the boundary line. He couldn't from there, could he? No, it's through for a behind. McLean. Sunbury 9-9-63. East Point 9-4-58. 26, nearly 27 minutes gone.
Good result for East just to get a clear possession now from fullback. What can they do?
Daniel Llewellyn takes the kick in. He goes right down the middle. Big contest and a strong mark by Lucas.
Get him moving.
He's got to go. Long right foot kick to half forward, but it's ill-directed. Sunbury getting the defence back. Mark taken by Boyd. He gives the quick hands to Wood on the drive-by. Touches on the ground.
Nothing in front of him.
He waits for the cavalry to arrive, as you said, Roger Grant. Kicks it as high and as long as he can. As a mark's taken or pushed in the back, you take your pick. Will go the way of East Point and once again of Lucas at half back. Now, they're going to be brave. 27.5 gone. He goes towards centre half back. Shows a bit of it. Mark's taken by Molan. He'll come across Eastern Oval. Breaking in space will be Brown. Bounces on his point. A big contest he won. The other way was Muir. He left his man. He won the footy and he sends it inside 50. And maybe does that moment alone.
Here's your moment.
Indicate the
Snevo,
game.
he's going to be outside 50. This is where you're saying the umpires want to say 7 seconds play on.
5, 6, 7.
So you'd be now calling him to play on if the rule had been changed. This is exactly the scenario we spoke about.
So Brock lands. Well, he can take as much reasonable time as he likes.
What's reasonable, Samuel?
No, that's just he's just done his normal method and his normal routine there.
Yep. But he would have been called on under that.
He'll shoot from probably just outside 50. Sunbury by 5 points on the Metro scoreboard. They'll take any score, you would feel. The long kicks towards the line. And it's off hands. Umpire's coming with a whistle.
Free kick.
He's paid a free kick, which I think is actually a good result for East Point. They want to win the game here because no score registered as they try to go the length of the field at the 28.5-minute mark of the final term.
So it'll be Thompson. He's going to play on a cross goal. Kick out towards the cricket net side of the Eastern Oval. Pack will fly. Mark taken by Parker for Sunbury. We haven't seen much of him today. He's indicating, like you said, Shane Stimpson, that he's going to go back and have a shot at goal. He doesn't. He uses up the clock and goes in short and finds Wood, who's marked outside 50 now.
But
What do you reckon?
Where East Point have to pair off and not let them pass it around. That's just what you practice all year. Right?
He is going to take his full 30 seconds.
Well, he's played 167 games, kicked 20 goals. And I don't think he has any intentions of trying to kick a goal to win at 21.
No.
Yeah, but I equally don't think anyone in East is upset with what he's doing right now.
And he goes into the pocket because there was a lead honoured by Stevens. And in the end, it went over his head and out of bounds it goes. But precious time ticked off that clock. Now 29.5 minutes gone deep inside forward 50 for Sunbury. Where they want to be, East Point will in a flash have to try to go the length of the field to try and pinch this one at the Eastern Oval. Grandstand finish on 3BA's Footy's home ground thanks to D2E Gyms. Hacked up the deck there by return owners. Now, was it touched or was it a lasso free kick?
Yeah, I think it was off Mikita Rodonis, wasn't it?
No, he's called for a throw-in.
Yep.
That'll suit East Point. Still a chance. Ball comes back into play. Both ruckmen missed it. Umpire's found a free kick, and it's going to go the way of Sunbury to Gallant, and he's going to take his time too. He's just inside 50 because the umpire's gone in to line him up. Can he kick it from there, Sam Young?
Oh, not in these heavy conditions, no.
He's a few metres outside of 50.
So Gallant will go through his full routine, take his full time, as we ticked over 30 minutes in the final term. And then he just pops it long into the pocket. And a flag to the side, the mark is taken.
Knew it.
Jack Newitt, who's been one of Sunbury's best, a real contender for the Sporting Globe Player today. Marks deep inside 50. The siren sounds. Sunbury have booked their place in finals action for season 2026. Jack Newitt will shoot from after the siren, as he'll take his time. Result obviously academic with the 5-point lead on the Metro scoreboard currently. He's been super. He'll line up for his third, make it a game-high 3 goals if he can convert. Little hop, skip, and a jump from him. Right foot kicks on its way, and hits the post for a minor score. So 6 points on the Metro scoreboard with the final margin here. 9 goals, 10-64 will be Sunbury to have defeated East Point 9-4-58 in what was a ebb and flow game, a thrill in the end. So to recap that for the listeners home, you missed Archie Bennett in game 2, marked at the 24-minute mark of the final term, and goal to put East Point in front. It was all about saving the game. Well, Sunbury went, no. 5 clean possessions out of the middle, instant response in 20 seconds to Paddy Scanlon, and that's enough for them to win it and walk away. And as I say, book their place in the finals of season 2026 with a win over East Point.
We've been so lucky with the games that we've broadcast this year. They all seem to, apart from when last week wasn't close, but it was, we've had some really close kind of matches this season. And that was whilst it wasn't, the prettiest of football at times, Shane Stibbs, it was an entertaining game to watch.
Yeah, after quarter time we thought, Sunbury by how far? East didn't look to have a method to really score or put Sunbury under pressure. And they totally flipped the script after quarter time. And it was just such a thrilling contest. A lot of stoppages and contesting, but gee, there was a lot of courage, a lot of good execution and skill, and what a thrilling result in the end.
So those goal kickers for Sunbury, Scanlon had 3, Jake Egan 2, Jack Newitt had 2, and 1 apiece to Lant and Hannett. For East Point, Cooper, Glenwright, McGuan kicked a career-high 3 goals this afternoon, and 1 apiece to Bennett, Braden Joyce, Sam McDonald, Jack Jeffrey, Brody Willems, and Jared Joyce.
And a quick around the grounds for Go Vita, your local house. Still, of course, we're keeping a close eye on the game between Sebastopol and Bacchus Marsh. It's Sebas, 8 goals, 12-60, leading Bacchus Marsh 8-10-58. 28 minutes gone in the final term. Connor O'Shea lining up for goal from just outside 50 as in the dying embers there of that one. So keeping a close eye to see how that one finishes, because if Bacchus Marsh lose, Melton would have beaten, of course, Redan. It would mean they need a miracle result next week to try and overtake them and be within the competition's top 6. So it could be all said and done with how results have finished here. But before we get to hear the Sunbury song, Shane Simpson, I'm interested in your thoughts on the contenders for the Sporting Globe Player A, but the ultimate winner in what was an enthralling contest here at the Eastern Oval.
Yeah, I think there's 3 contenders.
Tackle stuck, so he's forced to release the ball by hand. Ball was strong, took them on and got away with it. Did well, fed it to Geordie Kite, shot on goal. Perfect start for the Bloods. High kick to half forward. Round ball, Hine, quick hands to George. Away they go. Sidestep good around Hickey. Ran through the middle of the ground, George. Got a handball give opportunity. Gave it to Edwards. Not beyond him. sent it forward, and he snuck it through, Edwards. So well said, Collins. Ended up in the best for North Ballarat last week. I thought Stewart was manful in the ruck. Jones dropped what he should have taken. Open the door for Walker to Hickey, and it's a goal. But just chip it. It was a poor kick. Made it difficult for Edwards. He needs to support Edwards now. Well, that was too easy. Ball got around and had a shot on goal. It's a dangerous attempt. I'm not sure Matty Brett got a finger on it. Bloods are in front.
Another handball inboard to McNabb. On Mason it is, who kicks on his left shoe. Looking for Edwards. Couldn't quite hold on. Ryan did well to impede him. He's tracked after it though. Edwards shot off the handball to Shea. Shea can have a shot. Connor O'Shea has split the eye diddle.